Well, hey, how's everybody today? Let me fix my camera. Ugh.
I'm trying to get microphone issues fixed again.
I'm trying to get it where me and Lee are sitting at about the same height there. It's camera issues. Let me see. I don't know if I pull this lever, it's going to fall down. Let me see if I can.
I got a habit of hitting that little lever with my foot when I kick it up, and then I fall down, and then my foot's jammed under the lever, and I get stuck.
Well, hey, everyone. Today has been a crazy day for me. As you've seen probably on the 37 videos I put out today.
I had more watch time.
Ice cold pickle juice. No, I'm just kidding. Mountain Dew.
Well, I don't know about ice cold, but I do drink the pickle juice every now and then.
It's good stuff.
Put just a little pinch of salt in it, cuts that bitterness, and you can drink it a little bit better.
Really? A little bit of salt? Never tried that.
Yep.
So
it's a good electrolyte for you, too, while you're outside.
So how was work today?
It got to, I think, 108, the heat index. Here we are at 7 o'clock at night, and it's still 97 with the heat index outside right now.
Yeah, it's 92 here right now. 92 degrees. And the funny part is,
Hey, Kylie.
It's supposed to be 103 here tomorrow. Don't know what the heat index is going to be like tomorrow. Let me see. 10.
I think our high is going to be Friday. It's supposed to be like 101.
Yeah, it's not showing the heat index tomorrow, but it's showing 102, 103 tomorrow. So today was a crazy day. So, you know, I had the leaky feeder issue, right, on two of my colonies. And there was small amounts of bees in there still and queens when I went yesterday. But today when I went back, two of those colonies were non-existent. They were just gone. Hey, Amir. They were gone. And I went over there with 5 frames of brood. I put them in a Pro Nuke. 5 frames of brood. Shook extra bees in there. Made sure they had a ton, right? And yeah, get there and 2 of the colonies are gone. So I took the 2 weakest colonies. They each got 2 frames of brood and bees.
Did they just abscond, or were they getting robbed out and absconded?
It may have been Well, they were gone. The bees were gone, and then once they're gone, other bees are going to come in
Yeah.
and rob it out. So it's real hard to tell once they're gone. But there was still like some brood hatching out in there. There was some nectar and pollen. So I moved that to other colonies, right? So all 3 of those colonies are now strong. And, like I would buy, if I made a nuke for somebody, that's how I would make a nuke, right? 2 or 3 frames. Usually I give them 2 capped and 1 that's like open that she's been laying in.
Yeah.
And then 2 frames of food. They've got that now. When I moved them over there, they did not have that because I was unsure of how how they were going to do with the strawberry patch, with them spraying and whatnot. So I was hoping that they would get out there and do good and grow and, grow into the 5-frame box.
Mm.
And, I got some real nasty comments on the video.
I can't remember when you first put them out there. Did you put any pollen patty on them? No, I couldn't remember.
Nothing.
If they were bringing in any natural pollen in the area, or if you added anything.
I just gave them the food that was on the frames they got, right? The little bit, thinking, the bees are going to go out there and they're going to forage whatever and they're going to bring it back. And yeah, they didn't. So 412 ounce bears and 1,751 lids, 290 shipping. Going where?
That's ridiculous there. I mean, I paid 117 shipping, and I still thought that was high, but
I paid 97.
It was pretty much overnight. I paid Wednesday evening. They shipped it out Thursday. It was sitting on my porch Friday morning.
Mm-hmm. But now here's the thing. You won't have to buy lids again.
Yeah, for like next 4 times or so.
Yeah.
Just bottles.
So
Arkansas is where they were going.
Really? That shouldn't have, you wouldn't think it would be that high.
Because they charge, I mean, like I said, it was $117 and it was shipping to Louisiana.
It's coming from Pennsylvania, and it went from Pennsylvania here to South Carolina. It cost me a little less than $100 for 321 16-ounce bottles and 1,700 lids.
I want to, if I'm not mistaken, I think you said before it was like 96.
96, 97, right there, right there, right a little bit less than $100. Strawberries are not a good nectar source. Yeah, but, where they're located is close to a lake. It's got the chestnut trees. It's got all the wild stuff, same wild stuff I've got over here out in the woods around them.
Just got strawberries added with it. Huh?
Yeah, but then we got the strawberries as well. So it was more about having a second yard and not knowing if anything they put on the strawberries would kill the bees. But the queens were all alive yesterday. I had 5 queens. Now 2 of them had very little brood, but it was getting a little bit later in the day, so I was going to come home and go in these colonies out here and make it and then go back. So I ended up losing 2. But now maybe I have 3 great ones. You just don't know now that there's a bunch of bees, bunch of brood, bunch of food in them. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm not putting any more resources in them, Lee. It's sink or swim for them out there.
Yeah,
if they don't make it,
that's all you can do now. I mean, if anything, because of the nectar flow, I don't know how yours is. It's pretty much just about drying up here.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if it's drying up there, maybe give them 1 jar of 1-to-1 after. But other than that,
that's what they got.
Give them no more frames.
They've got the 1-to-1 that I put on them yesterday. That's it. They're not getting any more. And it's sink or swim for them bad boys now. I don't, there's nothing else I can do. If they don't flourish now, I need to go back in a few days to make sure that when I added all those bees, they didn't just kill the queen. Yeah. That's something I do need to check. So, but other than that, I'm not putting anything else in it. It's ridiculous Because what you end up doing, instead of losing one colony, right, out there, you end up really killing 2 colonies because you come back and you take 5 frames of brood, which is essentially another nuke. You slowed down 5 colonies on their growth to try to help a colony that's probably going to die anyway. So
yeah, as long as you only taking 1 frame from each colony, donor colony, I mean, it's not going to hurt them too bad. Yeah, it is taking some away, but I mean, as long as they got multiple frames left.
well, tomorrow, the rest of this week's going to be pretty busy for me because I am going to tomorrow. I'm going to go through the yard and make sure that every one of my boxes, because I put so many new boxes and bottom boards, has the 1/4-inch hole drilled in them. And I'm OA in. They're going to get zapped.
I think I'm going to change the location of my holes this year. Most of them were in my bottom board, just in that little lip. But whenever I put my vaporizer in, it wants to kind of tilt down at an angle. It's almost too low. So I think I'm going to move up just to the bottom of the box. That way, when I put my vaporizer in, the rest on the gun itself will rest on the bottom board.
Well, the I've never had this happen before, guys. Those strong colonies, the nukes that I just got that blew up and made all the honey, right? Those are the ones that I was pulling these bees from in these brood frames. But I was seeing mites walking on the comb.
That ain't good if you see them that easy.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to get so much OA. Shh, don't tell anybody. I'm going to smoke the crap out of them. That's what's going to happen.
Well, whenever I pull my honey supers, I'm going to start my OA, and I'm going to do every 5 days for 25 days. So right. 5 treatments back to back.
I'm going to hit them. And the thing is, people like, well, here's my thoughts. First off, they've kind of passed that it's legal to OA with honey supers on, right? If you have the piece of paper.
If you have the paper. But technically it's still legal.
Right. So here's the thing. Why first of all, let's say it wasn't. Would you sacrifice your bees to keep the honey? Or would you keep the bees and sacrifice the honey? Keep the honey, sacrifice the bees, sacrifice the honey, and keep the bees.
I would try to pull the honey off, maybe throw some new frames on them if you got it, and then vaporize them then. That way at least you're getting honey and treating. But that's if you have boxes. Some people ain't going to have that many boxes.
Yeah, okay. You didn't answer the question there. What are you, a Democrat? No, I'm just kidding.
Nope.
Are you a politician or something? Answer the question. It's either or. Don't mix. If you had to go out right now in an emergency, you're like, I can't do anything. I have to either treat them and sacrifice the honey, or not treat them and sacrifice the bees. Which way are you on?
Sacrifice the honey.
Me too.
If you can get your bees to live, they can make more honey next year, or come fall, you might get a small flow depending in your area.
Can't you just pull the box a day and gas them? You could. I guess you could, but every day that you're okay. So let's say I take the boxes off and I store them in my honey house overnight. There's nothing to say that then there's hive beetles still walking around in that box with no bees to harass them, no bees to keep them from doing anything. They could slime that box out in a day or so. They could lay it up, and then by the time you put it back on. I have never been in a colony where I've just seen mites walking on the comb, ever.
Yeah, I've heard this one right here. Just pulling your box, vaporize them, waiting 10 or 15 minutes for the vapor to settle, and then put your supers back on.
Well, if it's capped honey, no big deal, right? It's the open honey. But at the same time, the there is so much. I've never seen hive beetles just walking. I mean, not hive beetles. I've never seen mites just walking around. Now, these are in the nukes that I got 2 months ago, month and a half ago, 2 months ago. But they're really strong. But I have mine in full sun too, and it don't matter. Here, there's less beetles this year. I'm going to attribute that to the peppermint and the heat, and it could be an off year, but
well, that's like my new yard, my number 4 yard. They're about 40 to 50 feet into the wooded area. I weed eated around it, but they're in the woods, and I have not seen one hive beetle in that yard yet this year.
Well, guys, it's gonna be drastic. Wear your gas mask if you come around here the rest of the week. I go to the extreme when I see stuff like that. I could hit them. I could go in there every day and nuke them. It wouldn't matter to me. I would hit them all the time. I've never seen that. But yet those colonies are thriving. They're big colonies. Yeah, I saw them today. And that's when I was making the I might have missed it. No, I don't do a wash. Typically what I do, and I haven't this year because my weaker colonies, I went ahead and put Apivar in. But I should have, what I did in the past is every month, regardless, I would hit them with OA once a month. Boom. And I've never had mites like that in a colony. Coming out of the winter, I had one colony that I saw 4 bees with deformed wing virus on it, and I nuked that thing. I mean, I hit it. Measuring? Fill the cap up, zap them. Fill the cap up, zap them. I was just pummeling them with. I didn't open any drone cells on that colony. People eat a lot of OA and have no idea. Well, hey.
Yeah, it's in a lot of your green leafy vegetables.
Right.
Now, Michael said try the powdered sugar on them. See if that'll make a mite drop.
I am right now. I'm so stressed out with these bees that it's like any way I go, I put feed on them, they get robbed. I don't put feed on them, they starve. Then you're going through to try to help colonies that are dying, and I'm seeing mites walking on the frames. I'm like, or on the doggone wax. So it's like, what do you do? All I've used up until this point was OA. Yeah. Eating it's one thing. Breathing the vaporizer fumes are another.
Yeah, it's hard. I got one good lung full, and I went and bought a respirator.
You know what? But that could be why I'm not seeing cap brood. Right?
They know something's wrong and not capping it.
And then pulling them out. That could be. Because supposedly all of these queens that I bought from Cutix were supposed to be Varroa sensitive. Now, the hives that I saw them in, that was never explained to me with those nukes. So I don't know. But I am going to... I'm thinking I'm having a brood break with a lot of mine right now because I don't see any cap brood in a lot of my colonies. $101. Yeah, it's 89 degrees here at 8 o'clock. Yeah, need a kill fast. I do have a bunch of Apivar. I can't treat with Apivar with honey supers on. So, and 08 isn't enough. So either I pull all the honey supers and just harvest what I can get.
The only downside of that Apivar you was talking about, you got from Man Lake and the date on it.
Yeah, it expires in October.
A lot of people have been saying just even the newer ones, it was just like it didn't seem to be working. You got good batch and a bad batch.
You know, and I don't know. I put them in. This is the first time I've ever used that. I put with the strips that I put in. I even noticed that it seems like I've lost queens. It seems like I've lost queens from the ApiGuard. I've never used HopGuard, and I haven't heard much good about HopGuard, but I don't, I can't attest to it on my own.
I think my niece and my great niece, they're trying to tell me something here.
They're trying to tell you to order a honey stick machine?
Yep. Oh, they've been on me about that for a while.
Hold on. I got to mute my mic.
Uh-oh. Or it can be. Okay. It can be used with the Honey Super Zone. Were you giving her your last pack of cigarettes? You quitting again?
No, that was her cigarettes.
Yeah, that was red. Yours are menthol.
Green, black and green. Yeah. So it's it's crazy. It just seems like every time you think you got something figured out, you don't. You absolutely don't. About as the 1 and 2 HopGuard motion ever out. I don't know. Maybe HopGuard's the answer. I don't know. I have to look into it.
Yeah, do a little research on it and maybe worth a try.
Is it a temperature sensitive thing, HopGuard? I know it's made out of hops, right? That's why it's called HopGuard.
Trying to think. What's the other one we were talking about the other night? One temper sensitive. Formic Pro.
Formic Pro, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'd even stand a chance using that down here, even in the winter time. Because we got days, in the winter, it'll jump up 87 degrees.
HopGuard is temperature sensitive, so yeah. So, I've got treatments. Don't get me wrong. Hey, don't get me wrong. I will go out there and put strips in there and oxalic acid them. I ain't scared. What's it going to do? Kill the bees? If I don't treat them, it's going to kill the bees. So, what do you have to lose? You can just blast the crap out of them. And the machine does everything. All you do is add the honey, Uncle Lee. That's all you do is add the honey.
They twisted my arm here. They trying to get it.
Trust me, he's already ordered it.
Oh, you got me in trouble now.
That machine's not cheap either.
The one I was looking at, it was between $700 and $800 just to make honey straws.
Really? Wow. Did a nice graph like Lee would like. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Brad, that's what you've done? Is you've put strips on them and 08 them at the same time? I might do it. Don't think I won't go out there tomorrow and drop 2 strips in each one of them deeps and blast the hell out of them. Because it'll be on.
I got it. Well, I'm be out of town Saturday. I got to go for my goddaughter's birthday. But Sunday, I'm hoping to start pulling some more honey. And as soon as I start pulling honey, I'm going to vape them. So
I've got,
as soon as the super comes off, I'm putting an empty super on and vaping it.
I've got honey in them boxes out there. Even the ones that I spun out already and put back on them colonies, they're going to it. And
Now, Jim, basically it's a straw and it's just got honey inside. You'd cut the end of it off and just basically suck the honey out.
Yeah, it's sealed on both ends.
It's just like a heat seal.
Hey, Amir, did you try to call me a little while ago? It didn't pop up your name in my phone, but I was out there in the bee yard watching the swarm that was landing. Hey, so while we got everybody here, we got 43 people watching. How many people did not effectively get in on the giveaway for this week?
Pulling that up now.
So you got to remember, you got to go to both channels or you're not going to get in.
It was only a few this week. They wasn't too bad. M and J was on yours, not mine. James Noel hit mine, but not yours, but he did win last week. So he wouldn't have been able to win this week anyway. Matt and Sarah didn't get your channel, and Larry.
Hey, James, did your stuff come? Did I read that your stuff made it to your house? I'm trying to keep up because people at the manager at Blythewood Beat Company has kind of changed. Yes, Mad Mort, you made it in. All right. Crap. Amir, I could try to give you a call. Well, it'll be late when we get off here, probably. I don't know what time you go to bed, but we'll not yet. Okay, I'll double check with them tomorrow and make sure I did give them the information last week. So that should have went out probably either Wednesday or Thursday, I would imagine. But it should have been there by now, I would think. But we'll just take everyone else off and my odds will be better. Absolutely they will be. All right, so you got I copied it to the clipboard. All right, I'm going to go ahead and send the link out if anybody wants to join us and talk some bees. And everyone, please make sure to hit the like button on your prospective channel that you're watching at the moment.
I'm going to pin that link to the top of my channel. Anybody want to click it and join in?
And if you notice, I got my Beacon Bad on. If you like the Beacon Bad shirt, Lee's going to drop a link for me, like magic. Like that, see? Boom, snap my fingers, it's in there. And on the back, if you can't see it, it's got printing on the back too. Be addicted. So, anyway, there's my shameless plug for my gear. If you guys are so inclined.
I'll drop mine after a while, but you did give me an idea earlier. You was talking about smoking the heck out of them.
Right.
Let me see. Let me bring this up. I'm going to have to do another one of this. This one's with my picture of my smoker that I took last night, but I'm going to have to take my vaporizer and do another one.
Smoke them if you got them. That's right. You know what? I thought the long sleeve shirt this time of year would be too hot for down here, but it's perfect because it saves me from wearing it. Most of the time it saves me from wearing a jacket. I can just put a veil on and gloves and the long sleeve shirt and it works great. Oh yeah, Lee. Amir said, do you do any grafting?
Not yet. I started doing the NICOT system. I need to get out there and finish doing my videos on that. But whenever I do that, I'm not sure where I got them right now. I got my Chinese grafting tools. But whenever I do the NICOT system, I'm also going to graft a couple of cells too to see if I can do it or not. I won't know unless I try it.
Well, there's William.
How's
Hey, William.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you must be in town.
Yeah, I am.
Going to the game?
Yeah, I'm sitting outside of the ice rink right now. I've got a game at 9 o'clock our time over here.
So what's the over and under on those bees actually staying in that box?
Well, from what I saw, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't stay. I don't know why they weren't going inside.
Well, the weird part was they were going inside, and I was sitting on the ground, and I was grabbing hands full of them and like setting them on the top. And then while I'm sitting there on the ground in front of them, they just all start taking off. And so I ran to the truck and grabbed Swarm Commander and sprayed one squirt on the outside, and they all came back. And I sprayed one squirt on the inside of the box in the back top, and went to a nuke, grabbed some brood, and the brood had queen cells on it too, like a dummy. But I put it in there, and we'll see. We'll see if they stay or not.
I feel like they'll find their way in there on that brood comb. I mean, one thing you could do if they're still bearded up on the outside of it tonight when it's not real light and they're not likely to take flight, you could take that frame out there and get underneath them and just kind of scoop them with that brood frame, and then just put that brood frame in the box, and hopefully the queen's in that little cluster, but a lot of the bees will be too, and maybe they'll stay on it and entice the other ones to come in. So it almost seemed like some of them might be climbing in between your two boxes too, huh?
Yeah, they were going over on the lid through to
like
the back.
Underneath the Pro Nuke and the silly bees. I don't know what they're thinking they're going to do down there.
But I cracked the top, and the bees were on the edge fanning. So we'll see. We'll see if they stay. Man, it's been just one of those days. Like, I don't know how people that don't beekeep all the time, like when I say all the time, I mean full time, how you can keep up with like a day like today for me, where I went to one yard and did what I did, and then came back, and then I had a swarm, and then I had to deal with that. It's, and in the meanwhile, I'm looking at when I'm taking the frames out, they've got mites crawling on the comb. I'm like, what in the hell is going on? And today is like the summer solstice, right? So every day after today, the days are getting shorter.
Yeah.
So, and I don't even know that swarm came from one of my colonies. It could have been just bees that came to the yard. I don't know.
See, that's why you mark your queens. That way, if you do go through and find a queen, if she's marked, it was probably yours.
Yeah. Tomato. But I have been getting better at that. Hey, thanks, Rick. Today's your 2-month anniversary of being a member of my channel. I appreciate it so much. They're going good. It hadn't come over here. I saw it on my channel. So it's just kind of it's been busy, man. I don't know. So I'm going nuclear on these mites tomorrow. I'm gonna go. Yeah, is it just me, or did today seem like the longest day? And I'm gonna go and make sure that all these new bottom boards are drilled out and everything, and I'm just gonna shoot the hell out of them.
Yeah, I think you're on the right track. I'd nuke them.
Yeah, that's it. We're going DEFCON 3, baby. We're gonna knock them down.
Yeah, I err on the side of caution with that deal. Like I said, I've pulled bees out of done trap outs, and I'll see a mite on the back of that bee.
What the hell was that, Lee?
What was it? I missed it. Did he pop something up?
In the chat, a Hive Tool raffle has started for viewers.
If you happen to be on my side at the moment, you can hit !tool, and it'll throw you in a drawing.
See, now that's some evil bullshit right there. That's telling everybody come over to my channel and hit.
I'm going to do your side for you too.
Oh, that's wrong. That's wrong on like 10 different levels right there.
Oh no, I'm going to get your side too.
Are you?
I'm going to have to hook you up and show you how to do that.
Well, here's the thing. Oh, I got to show you this. Rick's in the waiting room, by the way. Hold on. I'm so excited, guys.
Yeah, Mr. Rick, how you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. How you guys doing?
Oh, pretty good.
Uh-oh,
what we got new here, Bob?
Hold on.
Oh, I know what it is.
The air assist for my laser showed up. The the honeycomb table for my laser showed up, but my laser hasn't shown up yet.
That's a little bit bigger than I thought it was too. If that's just a table for it.
That's just this sits inside of it. This is just what you put your project on.
Dang.
So I can do stuff 17 by 16 right now. But guess what they did? Of course, as soon as I purchased my stuff, they came out with an extension piece that allows you to do 36 by 17 longer pieces.
Does that laser come with a chiller?
No, this is a diode laser.
Oh, okay.
So the laser is going to be for laser engraving. So I'll be able to do hive tools. Technically, I could take this thing and etch right here on the wood if I wanted to. So I could do glass, like Matt and Sarah does, glass tumblers, like those mugs, all kinds of stuff.
I'm gonna have to buy a case I want to send to you.
And get the Kodiak Farms logo in it.
Yep.
For a fee. No, I'm just kidding.
That's what it's all about.
Actually,
you engrave for me, I pay for you.
the best thing would be just order them off of Amazon and have them shipped to me like a gift. And then the shipping's only one time, right? Going to you, back to you.
Yep, true.
And order some extras for foul ups. Just kidding.
Hey Jim, on that hive tool, you gotta type exclamation tool. That's all you gotta do is exclamation tool.
Or exclamation Lee, because he's a tool. No, I'm just kidding.
There you go, Jim. You got it.
Rick,
So
what's
this a new little software you got then, Lee, or what?
Yeah.
App or something?
Yeah, it's a software that I'm running through.
So does it? What do you give it access to your YouTube, and then it can read the comments, I guess, and
Yeah.
extract data from
It goes basically as a moderator in my comment section, and it knows what's going on.
See, there you go. Southwest Ohio Bees has an Epilogue Fusion M2 plus 2 fiber lasers. He's got, that's a lot of money for that. I couldn't start there. I had to start small, guys, starting small. But when you look at Matt and Sarah's Etsy page and they sold 30,000 items, that's pretty impressive.
I tried that laser out on one of them plastic bottles for honey.
Oh, it'll melt the plastic, but I could do it on the glass. I could etch the glass.
Yeah.
It would always be fun to try it on the plastic, see if it'll kind of
turn
melt
the
it in
power.
a little bit or if it just melts through.
Turn the power down where it doesn't burn so much, and see if you can get it on a plastic bottle.
Look at Mike, direct from Hawaii.
Actually, I almost put in my comments they're live from Guam.
Hey, is your clock broke? You're here before like 10:30 at night.
Yeah, sorry about that. Let me get back to you.
Yeah, you got to leave and come back in like an hour and a half. And no, I'm just kidding.
Surfer, yeah, okay, Phil. Thanks, Jim.
That's the new
Actually,
Barney, though.
Had her friend bring this back. It's actually a Hawaiian shirt from Hawaii.
Hey, Cajun, we got something for you.
I done lost track.
Oh,
They made me do it.
hey, I have nothing to do with it. He controls it. He controls it all over there.
William is in command. How are all you guys tonight?
Oh, pretty good. And yourself?
Not too bad. Not too
Mike,
bad.
I've got problems, Mike.
Yeah, okay, hang on a second. Let me get the name of a good psychiatrist.
Well, we all know I have that problem.
Okay, probation officer.
I was about to say, you noticed he reached in his wallet for that, too, though.
There you go.
The
Yeah, what's going on?
couple things. So my out yard, I had two. I did a video yesterday. The crappy Boardman feeders. I figured I'll move them. I'll take some out to the nuke yard, right? Because that'll be where I've just got 5 nukes over in the Chestnut Grove. And that'll be fine for them because they're all about the same strength. They don't really have to worry about robbing. No problem. Well, 2 of them leaked in the bottom and basically flooded the bottom of the bottom board out. So they were small clusters when I went out there yesterday. So I cleaned the bottom board off, put them back together, and said, well, I'm going to go home today. Well, that's what I did today. And I took a Pro Nuke. I took 5 frames of brood from other colonies, shook a ton of bees in there. And it was my idea to go out there and drop a couple frames of brood in the weak colonies with bees to, give them a fighting chance. Well, I get out to that bee yard, and those 2 colonies have absconded. They're gone.
Yeah.
So now I'm down to 3. So I went ahead and just split those up and strengthened those. Those are going to be strong nukes now. But in the process of pulling those brood frames out of those super nukes that I had, I saw mites crawling on the comb. I've never seen that before. Varroa mites, not on a bee, just walking on the comb to go down into brood cells.
Well, what's that stuff that you put? Had they hang between the frames at Apivar?
Yeah, I've got some Apivar, but I think if I go out to that, I can't, by law, I can't put Apivar on a colony while there's honey supers on there. However, the law does say that you can oxalic acid them if you've got the label addendum thing, right? But
just take the honey supers off long enough to smoke them. Well, whatever.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's 2 weeks, man. It's going to be.
But I'm
not producing any honey. You got to wait till it's later in the year for that.
But I'm gonna blast the hell out of them with OA. All of them. They're gonna get super nuked with OA. Not measuring it, just blasting them.
Right. Okay. That would explain why the bumblebees were underneath your hive there. They were trying to feed on that.
Yep. Yep.
And actually, Boardman or entrance feeders, I've never really had a problem with those leaking at all, unless the seals on the jars weren't good.
Well, the little caps are a couple years old, and I think the holes have actually rusted a little bit, which made them larger.
Yeah. And by the way, any hive that you see absconding like that, I like to hit them just hard and nasty with oxalic just because I can. It doesn't matter if there's bees in there or not. In case there's any mites left over there. But if you can see mites sitting around and walking on a comb, dear Lord, by all means, hit them with oxalic immediately.
That was in my yard here, the big yard.
Oh.
The ones that I was pulling the brood frames out of to donate to the other yard. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to drill any holes that need to be drilled, and I'm going to pummel them.
Is that what you're going to do it tonight?
Have you
I have you go out there at 10 o'clock at night and start some work on them, so why not go out at night and do it?
It's actually a good time to do it is at night, but I know I don't have holes drilled in all of my new bottom boards, so that's not a good time to be vibrating around the hive at night.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Say Silver Gorilla, 2 holes in. That depends on whether you're trying to do what do you call it? A maintenance feed, or if you're trying to feed them heavy. It's then it depends on what you put in there for holes.
Are your bottles in the sun and then in the shade and then in the sun again a lot, like throughout the day, or? Well,
you've seen the out yard, right? They're kind of in the sun, but they're in the grove. So I'm sure as the sun goes past, it's like getting
sometimes
dappled.
I feel like as they heat up and then cool and then heat up and then cool.
Yeah, William, I was thinking about that, and you could be right. It absolutely could be right.
But it only did it on those 2 colonies. It didn't do it on the other 3.
Yeah, I think it's just a bad gasket on his in that particular instance. I've run into that problem a number of times. But, the draw it down the same. Well, it depends on if you're trying to feed them or do a heavy feed. Or if you're just trying to do a maintenance feed. That's where that comment's coming from there. But No, maybe they like peppermint.
I'm about to say, I mean, as far as the 2-hole or 5-hole or whatever, also that would depend on the size of the colony.
Well,
Yeah, that's
If it's a
absolutely
small
good
colony,
point.
2-hole may be a heavy feed for just a few bees getting into it.
Absolutely. No, you're for sure right there. But had you treated any of those hives, Bob?
not since spring. When I first came into spring, that's the last time I treated
So
them.
you didn't do a spring
Other than
treatment.
the Apivar on the weak colonies I put in, but none of those new nukes that I bought
Thanks,
that
so.
were real strong, none of those did I treat, and those are the ones that had the mites crawling on the comb.
Yeah, and that's something else that you want to talk to your nuke supplier about. It's like, what did you do for treatment on these things?
Well,
So
I'm at DEFCON 3 right now. They're gonna get.
you
You
got to
have
do
no
it.
idea. They're
Yeah.
gonna get hit hard and often.
Yeah.
Can't you take the honey frames and put them in the freezer, and that way you kill the mite?
Yeah, I mean, if I had 5 frames, I could probably put them in the freezer. But when we're talking about 50 frames,
Oh my god!
it's
Yeah, you might want to rent a reefer.
So you need a bigger freezer like I got.
yeah, we're gonna need a bigger truck.
Yeah.
My
That's
big
what
deep
you're
freeze
saying.
that's in the storage area, it's a little bit over 7 foot wide.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah.
You know, I could probably take a square of cardboard and set it over on top of the brood box and set the supers right back on top of it, and then nuke the brood boxes and let it sit there for a while, and then just take the cardboard back out. You think that would work?
You could. You absolutely could do it that way. I mean, you're separating. You're not treating one section. You can even add a second super below your honey supers, and then put a bee escape on it, and that way you're leaving some room for them. But then you're emptying the honeys up there of the bees, where you're getting some of the fretics off, and then you put the cardboard in between the new honey super and the other one.
Because all of
yeah.
the frames that I just spun out, I put them back on the colonies, and they're already stacking nectar back in them.
Well, that's wonderful.
So it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you run into a classic problem. You've got to treat your bees in spring, whether they're a new nuke that you bought or anything, and you want to do it like ideally a month before you put your honey supers on.
Well, see, last year I treated them every month regardless. Once a month they got hit. Boom, boom, boom. They got hit. And then people are like, well, the effectiveness is maybe not there. So I got the Apivar, and I was like, well, I'll treat them with Apivar as soon as the honey flows over. But
yeah,
it's like in that middle spot right now.
If you have a lot of brood in there, it's not going to the oxalic is not that effective, regardless of how heavy you hit them.
But that could explain why I'm seeing no cap brood, that they're getting the mites and they're pulling the brood out.
That's possible, Bob. That's entirely possible. I don't know why the heck we didn't think of that earlier. But I was looking at your frames there and trying to see how much you had for resources to find out if they were cannibalizing the larva for protein. It could be a combination of the two.
And I've got, that one row that I always show that's bearding real heavily?
Yeah.
If you ever look on the ground, there's a bunch of dead bees in front of those colonies where they do a good job of bringing the dead out and just dropping them. And
drop them right off the front of the board.
Right off the front of the board, like, get the hell out of here.
But that's the kind of bee drop that we'd see here in Minnesota during the winter when the bees die inside the hive. If you have bees dying inside the hive, I know that's a separate issue. I don't know what. Because if a bee's really weak, if it's feeling like it's going to die, it usually takes itself out and dies. That's something I'm not qualified to talk on. So yeah, if I could hit something here real quick, I think Stacy was just asking how my queen situation was. I was going to go through them today and find out what had happened there. I did a classic mistake, and I want everybody to hear this. I was going to take a new queen and put it under a cage over some brood on a frame, And unfortunately, I did it right on top of the hive. And usually, 90% of the time, the queen just will, like fall off and immediately go on the frame. Well, this one flew away.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, exactly. So what I do is I take that frame in and I bring it in. I shake the bees off, bring it into my small kitchen here, and at the cabin, and I do it there. That way, if the queen flies, she immediately goes to a window. I just pick her up. Now, this is where it gets really strange because the queen in this instance, went and flew underneath one of the pallets. I get underneath her. I'm pulling at grass trying to find her. I think, okay, this is going to happen. I get up and I look, and here that doggone queen had flown up, and it looked like she went into one of the other hives. Now, the queenless hive that I was going to put it in, when I wanted to open it up, I went and got another Saskatraz queen to put it in there. They were calm as they get out. So I think she actually went into the hive that I was going to put her in.
I've had that happen where she's flown off and come back and landed right in the front of the colony.
Bob. Thank you. It seems to me you had something like that happen to you.
Yep, so, earlier in the year, actually.
Yeah, so I take the new queen and I put it on the cage and put it on the frame to see how the bees react. They completely ignored her, and they're calm as all get out. So I thought, well, what the hell? I'll put that one in there anyways. I was running out of time, so that one actually might have two queens in it. If they have similar pheromones levels, they'll accept both of them. So it might be one of the rare instances where you actually end up with two queens in one hive, and that's the end of that story, Stacy. I'm going to be going through them and separating them and inspecting them and marking them all out. Yeah,
now,
Daisy, honey, all our world. Yeah.
Have you bought that Saskatraz queens before?
I had, but I got it from a reseller in Wisconsin, and they were crap. They just didn't lay the winter bees like they should have. So,
well, I bought some from Oliveira's my first year.
Direct from them, yeah.
And they did not do well here in the heat, not at all.
Thanks for bringing that up.
The not, and it is hot. I mean, when it's 103 out with 111 or 112 heat index, and those bees are.
I just uploaded a video. Brad noted that, and it has to do with the reflective. I finally did a video on the reflective ceramic bead coat paint on the outside of the hives. So strictly, I think it benefits you guys a lot more, because if it's in direct sunlight, it's going to knock down that heat really, really hard. And you can mix this stuff with any kind of paint you want.
Right.
So, and it's a cost of about $16 a gallon. Amen. One word to warning, though, if you do mix it in with paint, I like to take like a half gallon of paint and put it in an empty can, put the beads in there and bring it to my paint store and have them shake it. You go to remix that later on. You really have to do a really good, like a power mix to get that stuff. It ends up almost looking like a sandy pudding.
I got a little small round bit that fits on the end of my drill that I'll put down in there and mix all my paint.
Yeah.
Now, with that stuff, does it matter if it's an oil base or a latex or?
No, not at all. Not at all. It doesn't make any difference. It can handle anything. I think down in Florida, where I saw Bob Vila using this for the first time on metal cargo container conversion homes. I don't remember if it was oil base or whatnot. But that's something else. You can spray this stuff on. But I put 3 coats on so it gets to the thickness of a credit card. At that point, according to the manufacturer, because the beads are hollow, it's supposed to equal R9. So you got the reflective side of it that they say is 90% reflective towards infrared because of the diameter of the beads, but then there's a hollow sphere insulative contribution there too. So, but I do that on all my doggone beehives. That I guess. See you there, but yeah, thanks, Brad. Bless you. No, the other side effect that I have for that is it actually makes the hives a little bit easier to handle because it gives them a sandy finish. So, anyways,
every time you didn't hear that subtle yabba dabba doo go off in the background.
Is that for Brad?
Yeah. Where's Brad been? Brad hasn't been on in a while.
Brad lives in Louisiana, a couple hours from me.
Yeah, we need Brad to come on. We like talking with Brad.
Yeah, Lee's gonna go.
Oh, you guys like talking to Brad? Why?
We love Brad.
Really?
Yeah.
He does kind of look like Brad or yeah, thanks you. Exactly. Sorry.
Y'all got to run him off. He already waits until there's big names on here before he jumps in with us.
Oh, God bless them all, though.
I
You
didn't
guys
realize
got
Sarah.
great
I forgot
audience.
Sarah said she wasn't going to be here tonight, but she is here.
Oh, well, hey, let's go ahead and do the giveaway then, in case she's got to run, because we usually do it at 9.
Yeah.
So we'll do it now. Maybe your luck will keep on lucking.
By the way, happy anniversary too.
Yes,
Oh,
happy
yeah.
anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
And I know while Lee's pulling that up, William brought it up. I am getting close to 2,000. I'm at 1903. I got 97 more subs before we give away the solar wax melter.
Oh, wonderful.
So if you're not subbed to my channel, please do it. We're going to give away a wax melter.
That's a grand thing. Say, William, I've got you up on a big screen here, but it looks from my angle like you have an owl over your right shoulder there.
A what?
An owl.
An owl?
Yeah, whatever you have over your right shoulder.
Oh,
Because
Your
that's,
headrest.
that's my truck.
yeah, no, it looks like an owl though. It's just kind of funny. That's all.
Camouflage.
Well, it's like a camouflage, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
And it's kind of hot in here. My AC doesn't really work when my truck's not moving very, very well. So I got the
Oh,
windows
no.
cracked. It's hot.
Yeah, I've been thinking about you guys when we were 100 degrees yesterday, and you guys are a lot hotter than me.
Yeah, it says 100, or it said 100 on my dash earlier. I got a board up on the. I got a board trying to block the sun here.
Oh, good, good. There you go.
Trying to survive.
You wouldn't want to go to Walmart or Meijer or somewhere and buy one of those reflective sunshades.
It's not in the budget. I'm trying to save money for more bee equipment. I don't have.
Have you tried just throwing a can of Freon in?
I have, yeah. It works
Sorry to
fine
hear
when I'm
that.
going down the road, but not when I'm sitting still, and I don't really
Yeah,
know
okay.
exactly why. Yeah, no, this is actually that's the size of a deep box, so that's why
Right.
That's why I got that. So.
Hey, Rick, what's your weather like there?
It's been warm, and we got some rain though the other day. But we've gotten rain. It's been warm. I just got back in from bush hogging, and that's what I bush hogged with. I think it was a 1940s Ford 8N.
Still running.
Yep,
1940s what?
Ford 8N.
But
Tractor.
Oh,
forget
tractor.
The whole tractor.
Yeah, old tractor.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rick. I just grew up with Farmhouse International Harvesters and whatnot.
Oh, okay.
Wow, did it work? Yeah, 40s? No.
Yeah, I don't really know. I need to run the serial number to find out. Somewhere between 30. I think. I don't know. I'm not a big
Yeah.
guy that knows his history, but I think it's from 38 to 52. They made this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had one of those on the doggone goat farm. That's they're pretty.
There you go.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Wow. Joshua?
I've got two of them, and I've got a Ford 8 or 9N, and I have a 53 Jubilee.
Oh crap! We got open borders. How are you,
Is
Phil?
anybody in here?
I was going to send you an email earlier. I'm gonna grab something for somebody else here. What are you doing tonight, Phil?
It seems I'm sitting up watching No Life Beekeepers.
That's right. That's true. All right, let's do the giveaway while Mike's away.
Yeah, Mike will be back on here, but try to get it while Sarah's here too.
All right. So as you know, this is the second week of 5 weeks of giveaways from Blythewood Bee Company. We're giving away Saracell top high feeders. Your choice of a 5, an 8, or a 10. I don't know if the 10s are in stock yet, but they definitely have the 5s and the 8s. If you do choose the 10, then you're going to have to wait, just to let you know. But Lightwood Bee Company has donated these to us for giveaways. And to enter after the stream, you need to go into both mine and Lee's chat, the actual chat underneath, and leave a comment and a thumbs up, and you will be entered to win for next Tuesday. So how many we got this week entered?
Let's see.
Close to 30, I think.
Yeah, I done lost track of what window I was on. 32.
32 entries this week. All right.
We ready?
We are ready. Who's going to win it? Earl hadn't told us.
Here we go.
Survey says Todd Horting. So Todd, send me an email at, I'll drop it down there because I don't think Lee's got that in his super.
Hadn't programmed that yet.
In its super Rolodex. And typing it in. And that's my email. Drop me an email on Gmail there, and let me know your information and which feeder you choose, and I'll get it over to the appropriate people to get it shipped out to you. So, thanks for participating.
Wonderful.
And hopefully he sees it. He may not even be on the stream. I haven't seen a comment. So, but so what do you got going on, Mike? As far as in the beekeeping world,
I've got that one hive that I was screwing around with, a weak hive that I did the double queening splitter sandwich between a feeder shim, and I'm pulling that one off and shaking some nurse bees in there because they're going to lose a bunch and just moving them over. Otherwise, I just have a whole boatload of cleaning to do for the new boxes that we built. The ones with the rough interior for the propolis. That's really about it. I'm not. I might do a couple splits, and then Troy Slaughter, he's going to be giving me 3 or 4 of his select queens, and I'll be doing just a couple of nukes starting up. I'm not going to do any splits. I'm just going to start some brand new hives. So that's the extent of that.
well, I think I'm not going to, when I make my nukes from now on, I'm not going to make weak nukes. I've been trying to make weak nukes and grow them up. From now on, I'm just going to make a nuke like I would sell it to somebody.
Yeah.
And let it go.
That's drones that I caught in that one nuke. It's just now getting populated. I mean, I went out and checked it earlier today or yesterday. I can't remember. And it was fairly populated, not overly populated. So,
Right.
you know, they're still growing. So it must take a while.
Well, I think anytime you make a new colony, it definitely declines before it starts to go up, right? Because you're waiting on the new brood to hatch out. And if you don't do it right, you're not getting, if you're not putting enough food in there, and if you're putting too many nurse bees in there, like what I did, just shake nurse bees and stuff into the boxes, well, they don't have the foragers to go out and collect the resources they need.
Yeah, I can see that.
Or if they have too many foragers, well, then they don't have enough to stay back and grow the colony, right? Or keep the brood warm. That's been my biggest thing, is I'll put in brood, but there's not enough bees, so some of the brood dies off, and they end up cleaning that out.
I've noticed with those little like 2-frame splits, it takes like a month and a half or more for them to actually recover and start growing.
Right.
I've noticed that because that's what I use for mating queens. You know what I mean? Is I make up 2-frame nukes, and then the queen goes and gets mated, and then it takes a while for them to bounce back because they gotta fight through all that attrition. You know, the older bees die off, and then there's just like barely enough bees for them to survive, and then those have to hatch out and grow up, and then it's just like several cycles before you're noticing, oh, now I got 3 frames of cap brood, and they're starting to really grow. It's like 2 months.
Right.
So if anything bad happens to them in that period of time, it's like they're super susceptible to any stressor that might take them out.
Yep.
Doom. That's
Yeah.
true. Any hive beetles, any wax moth, any whatever, it will definitely punish them.
And when you went to get those frames of brood for your whatever the heck that where the abscond was,
Right.
did you also put in a good frame of resources?
So those colonies, believe it or not, had some pollen and nectar stored in them. So the strong ones, when I say the strong ones, I had one that was pretty strong, and then a couple that were so, and then I had two that were just terrible. And so when I went out there today with the 5 frames, the ones, I mean, I put 2 frames of new brood and bees in 2 of the 3 that were left, in 1 frame in the strongest one that I had. And then I took the boxes that were remaining, that where the abscons were, that still had food and resources in them, and put them over top of the 2 new 2 stronger ones.
Okay.
So they're 5 over 5, so they can move up and get the food. And when the other,
I'll give you an example. So, like, if you watch, I posted a video today of those 4 colonies that I moved to the out yard, and you'll see those they're kind of rebounded and started growing, right? Well, I had another colony from the same round of queens that was like you were describing, Bob. They had eggs in there and larvae, but nothing really capped. They were just like dwindling down. You know what I mean?
right.
And so I took one of those boxes that I pulled from the trap out where the queen didn't actually come back, and I combined them, and I checked them back over this weekend. She's got 3 frames of cat brood looking great, like nothing
Oh,
ever
wonderful.
happened. So sometimes it's not the queen. I think it's really if their numbers and their get off, it's just like they can't recover. You know what I mean? Like they just don't have the right bees doing the right jobs.
Well, you definitely have to, when you make it, you definitely got to make sure they have a proportionate amount of foragers and feed and brood. And, you know, she's not going to lay more than she's got enough to feed or brood, right? So there's got to be a forage force to be able to support that.
That's what I'm saying. So it must have, when I made up that one nuke, I must have gotten a super high ratio of older bees and not enough younger bees. And whenever you're making super small splits like that, like 2 frame splits and shaking a little in, there's just not a lot of wiggle room. If it doesn't get exactly right, then
I got
not be able to bounce back.
My new trick, and it's new to me trick. Not new, I'm sure you guys are smart enough to know this, but I was not evidently smart enough to know this at the beginning of the year. Is take a pro nuke, right, or a nuke box, and shake bees into the box.
Yeah.
All of the foragers are going to fly out and fly back to their home, and the only ones that stay are the nurse bees that can't fly.
Yep.
Or drones. I have drones that hang around for some reason.
Don't want to, or
And you know what you could do, Bob, when you do that? You could do a mite wash at the same time. Just saying. I know you.
Yeah, as long as you know where the heck the queen is. Yeah, William. Absolutely, brother. I was kind of wondering about the same thing there. Say, Ander brought up an interesting comment about when you do a split about separating the parent hive, moving the parent hive, and then leaving the other one there, so the foragers will return to your new split.
Right.
Maybe Lee could bring up his comment there.
I've had that happen. I mean, I've done that before.
Yeah.
But these ones were moved to another yard.
Yeah.
So, and purposefully, when I made the splits, I made them weak because I didn't want to take strong colonies over there and then have them get killed by something they were spraying over in the strawberry field. So, evidently, I made them too weak, but.
Right. And Grammy's midwife there, Lisa, you had 2 supers fly off the back of the mule. Oh, dear Lord. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Well, I did put Hive Alive pollen patty with peppermint on that nuke not too long ago, and I think that's why it built up the numbers it has, because now they're starting to put honey in the upper.
Well, see,
upper
that's
honey.
the other thing. What you just said there, they're starting to put honey, means you still have a nectar flow going on.
Mhm.
Here, these small colonies, if they don't have the forage force to go out and get the nectar, or even if they do have a small forage force, they can't bring back enough nectar to feed the colony.
Well,
So
and that's why I've got a feeder in there with them as well. And I went in, and they were loaded up inside that feeder, eating the syrup, and they already ate all of the pollen
right,
from the the Hive Alive, whatever that stuff is.
the fondant
No.
or the patty.
No, it's a mix. You put in the syrup, and also you can get it in the patty.
Oh, okay. You put the liquid. Okay, I thought you. I got you, because I know they sell pollen patties as well that it's already mixed in.
Yeah,
So,
I've got the pollen patty. I've got the fondant, and but I don't have fondant on them yet. I'm going to wait till winter to put that on. And then, but I did give them syrup with that stuff in it, and I also gave them the pollen. But also with the pollen, I smashed up some peppermints and put in the pollen as well. So
how's that working for you there with the beetles?
works great for me. I thought it was
Fantastic.
working good for everybody, but Bob, I guess you're having some bad luck with mites with this stuff.
What? Oh, well,
That's not going to reduce the mites.
I thought maybe it would. I was hoping.
Yeah.
Well, I had a comment on my video that, evidently your pollen's not, or your peppermint's not working if you have beetles in your colony at all. It's not going to kill them. It just deters them, but you still need the bees to do the part, right? So if you've got weak colonies, hive beetles are still coming in, but it does deter them. I have less hive beetles than I had, for sure. I have less hive beetles now than I had in January.
Yeah,
well, that's fantastic. Say, oddly enough, I was thinking about watering the bees last night, and I was taking off my Boardman feeders, the entrance feeders, and all the small hives. And I ran into a video. Well, the video I just uploaded, I actually put some water and poured it on the entrance, and the bees all line up, and they start sucking it down. And it occurred to me, what the heck would happen if I took an entrance feeder
and filled it full of water
and just put water in it? And doggone well, they're going to take that down. So that might be an alternative. You've got lots of other great things.
Well,
now I got another one for you. You seen how they'll fill a 5-gallon bucket full of sugar water, put the lid on it, flip it upside down, and drill the little hole down in the groove. You can fill it up with just water and drill little small holes. Once it fills that groove up, it'll be like stifling.
Community water.
Yep. I use my black tote that I open feed in. I put water in it as well. Put water in it and float pine straw on top of it, and they'll go in there and drink the water. My wheelbarrow that's got old burnt cans in it from my fire pit, they'll get on the old rusty cans and drink the water right out of the wheelbarrow.
Any kind of bucket or anything that'll hold water, like you said, just either put some leaves or some pine straw or something they can stand on.
Something in there, just even some twigs. If you have a strong bee and the water's warm, they'll literally swim their way out of that. You'll see that in the bird feeders when they land on it. So you need to put just sticks in there. I see Michael likes to throw sponges in there. That's the one thing I actually wouldn't put in there. I'm sure it works, but I just don't like the idea of sponges holding any kind of bacteria, not from using them for something else, but I like to have it all open there. Chicken water out with salt and vanilla for the bees. Frederick Dunn did a very interesting video on the different stuff that they prefer, and it doesn't hurt to give a little variety there. But always offer them plain water too. So,
no, I mean, if you don't mind spending a little money, like who was just said, Sarah, you could take the 5-gallon chicken feed or chicken waters, or the 1-gallon, whichever one you need.
Yeah.
Just put some rocks around the bottom of it,
or sticks, like I do. I've just put sticks around mine when I use them for feeders.
That'll work.
Yeah, that'll get you there and back.
The
So
only thing I like about the 5-gallon one, I mean, if you're not going to be there for several days or a week or more, 5 gallons should hold them over for a while.
Bob, I seen you pick that stick up and use it for your hive or whatever.
Oh, for the
But I-
swarm, when I was scooping the bees with the stick and they were just grabbing onto it and I was putting them on top of the colony and they were going in and I was just,
yeah,
No, you used it to prop up the back of a nuke or something.
oh yeah,
But
yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
I got
Yesterday.
thinking. I've heard that bees will use those sticks to orientate to the hive.
that
Oh.
actually makes a little bit of sense. And if the sticks aren't shifting, yeah, Rick, that makes a bit of sense there.
So I was worried, but if you moved it, you may have thrown them off or something. You know? I
No,
don't know.
all I did was that was a random stick on the ground I just picked up and opened it up. But I mean, I just lifted the back enough and stuck the stick under it like a shim.
Yep. That's the one I was talking about.
Say if you plan ahead of time, you can always stop by Home Depot and get the paint spurs and just cut them in little short sections and use them as a wedge.
Well, a lot of I don't usually have that problem, and you know, a lot of people were like, "Well, use a frame feeder." Well, I've got frame feeders, and I've got Boardman feeders, and you know, but if you got a 5-frame nuke and you put a frame feeder in there, then it's a 3-frame nuke. You know, so it's like, then what's the point? At that point, I'll keep them in my 2-framers here in the yard.
That's why I got rid of all of my frame feeders this year. I went to the bucket feeders. I drilled a 2-inch hole on top. I put a plug in it. When I'm feeding, I pop the plug out and throw a bucket on.
You know, you just gave me an interesting idea, though, Bob, because those new supers that I made that you can either as a dual nuke or a 3-frame mating box, I could just put one of the divider boards in there. And then it actually turned into a 6-frame nuke with a feeder in place. Okay, that's interesting.
Just staple them together and drill a hole so they can pass in between them. Make a 4-frame
it's a complete divider. Oh, geez. Well, actually, I have a little slip like you get when you go into the butcher shop. They have to take a little number tab, So
well, the like he's talking about those 2-frame nukes. The 2-frame nukes aren't really my problem. It's once they get from 2-frame, which I haven't graduated any 2 frames to 5 frames yet.
Yeah, we weren't talking about that.
No, I know. I was talking about this comment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was popped up there.
Okay.
4-frame nukes that might survive.
But
yeah,
again, you guys haven't heard the first part about that. Was I purposefully made weak nukes to take over there to see if they would grow and if they would get killed by what the strawberry patch was spraying.
It's usually fungicide in the strawberry patch.
And so I knew they were weak when I took them over there. I wanted to see if they would flourish and grow. And a couple of them died because of me not raising the back of the colony when I had it up there. So when I put the Boardman feeder on it, the liquid ran into the back. The ones that the liquid didn't run into the back are all still alive. None of them died. So I went out there today and added more brood to strengthen them up and more bees.
Okay.
So that's the story with that. So it's not weak 2-framers that I put out there. It was weak 5-frame nukes that I put out there because I wanted to see if they would flourish, not being around the big colonies and being close to the strawberry patch.
Those 2-frame nukes, I think all I'd use them for is a breeding nuke, for it to go out and breed and come back.
That's what they're there for.
Yeah.
That's why I got them.
So once you find out she's bred, you need to pull her and put her in something larger, or else she's going to take off.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you're right.
That's funny.
I didn't know that. That's why I spent $700 on maiden nukes to put out there because I didn't have a clue about 2-frame maiden nukes. Exactly, that's the point. You take a frame of brood over there, you let the queen get made, fly out, come back, and then move her or move a frame. So guess what? So now that colony can make a queen and have it come back. And then if anybody says, "Hey Bob, do you have a queen?" Absolutely have a queen. I can go out there and grab a queen out of a 2-frame nuke and let them make their own queen and sell her. Or if one of my big colonies loses a queen, I go grab her and put her in there.
Yeah,
I don't have to buy any.
Why don't you go with a double screen board and you can stack them on a 10 frame?
Rick, I'm actually building some divider double screen boards just for that reason.
Very good.
That's a great point.
There
Absolutely.
you go.
You can absolutely do that.
And my friend Troy, he actually puts all of his queens in the 10 super divided to 3 sections, and then he leaves them in there.
I've got some of those boxes too. I just don't have the
Yeah,
dividers.
if I want to get a queen, we'd go over there and just pull the 3 frames out, drop in something like a Pro Nook, and bring them over there. Honey stick are a good idea because the machine is $800 and sell honey stick for $1 more. Yeah, I like that.
That's Lee's niece.
Yeah, our local store here is just begging me for honey sticks and so on.
You can $800 though. They'd have to buy 800 like right off the rip. I'll sell you if you buy 800 first initial order at $1 a piece.
In our little country store in the peninsula here, no. But yeah, that's what I like to do, Bob. I really would.
And that way it pays for your stick machine right out of the gate. Break even.
What a glorious thing. Glorious thing there.
But
so,
yeah.
Phil, what's your temperature there?
Really? You want to know?
I really do, actually, brother.
We're sitting at, let me see to get the exact.
This is kind of for William right now. We're sitting in his truck.
Oh, yeah. We are exactly 56 degrees at the moment.
Glorious.
Absolutely. Hey, Phil, you know what a Fergie is, don't you?
A what?
A what,
Fergie. A Fergie. A Ferguson tractor.
Oh, yes, yes. Massey Ferguson. My grandfather worked for Massey Ferguson.
I have a Ford Ferguson. See, and this is where I think Ford went over there. Well, never mind. That'll get into a whole nother argument.
But
I think he went over there and stole from him. You know, he went over there and stole that engine that he put in the Model A's and the Model T's and all of them, you know. He took it from Henry.
Lee disappeared on us. Lee must be ordering his honey stick machine.
So Hale Hives just ran the math here. You sell those
Hey, Phil, that's what I mowed my grass with today.
I'm sorry, Rick, what?
I was telling Phil that's what I mowed my grass with today.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Daisy's Honey says he does honey sticks. He uses a big syringe and a food sealer.
Honestly, that's what I'm looking at doing. Absolutely. So our store up here, I forget how much they sell the sticks for. But $25 that's great money. Yeah, absolutely.
But you gotta sell a bunch of them though, right?
Yeah, but that's the business we're in. So
that's true.
Kind of grand. Say if nobody caught Phil's video where he's talking about like beekeeping in a swimming pool or something like that, a little short video. So I think I'm gonna show off.
I don't remember doing that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. You looked awfully sober, Phil, so you do.
Couldn't have been me then.
Hey, I want to get off here so I can go eat my dinner. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for talking to me. And
Yeah,
hope you guys
Rick.
All right, Rick. Have a good one. Thanks.
Rick.
All right, you too. See you.
Bye-bye.
So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So hopefully, I know. Charlie runs 2-frame nukes. Am I the only one? You run 2 frames too, don't you, William? A few. So.
Yeah, I made all my queens in 2-frame castles, but I also have some 2-frame mating nukes. And
I mean, you do have to check them, but the whole idea is so you don't have to go buy queens. You can just raise your own queens. So
yeah, it's just a resource thing, trying to make them as lean as possible without. I want to be as lean as possible, but I also work a lot. I got a busy work schedule, so I don't think
Right.
I could keep up with those little styrofoam mating nukes. Like, you just got to be all on top of those. At least with a 2-frame, you got a little bit of wiggle room.
Well, what I've
to play
noticed
around
is
with.
I haven't had them. They're not really drawing the second frame out too much in there. So I don't know what I got to do to get them to start popping that out. Busting that out. But
Yeah,
I don't know. We had a pretty good flow over here this year, right? They were drawing some on mine, but
I started mine a little bit
abnormally
late
good flow.
too. But now I do have queens out there right now that if 10 of my queens died right now, no problem. I could go out there and grab them off of my resource hive, cage them, and put it there, right? And I don't have to worry about it. Now I'm not selling those queens right now, because I'm going to use those to make other queens. Use paper. We market it to Californians.
Oh my gosh. So the only thing that I don't like about those doggone 2-frames, and I think if I remember right, Jason Chrisman does a lot of those things and he stacks them up high. 123 last night, we had winds run through here at 50, 60 miles an hour. And whenever I saw him doing that, I kept asking him, how the heck do you keep those things from tipping over? And I think his response was he put weights on the top. And that just wouldn't work here.
Well, it's anything, right? So it's like, and there's all kinds of ways to do beekeeping, right?
Oh, yeah.
But if I'd have to buy 50 bricks to put a brick on every single colony I have. I don't know how much a brick is, but 50 bricks, or if you're buying a frame feeder, 50 frame feeders or 50 hive top feeders, or, it runs very quickly into a lot of money.
Yeah, it does. But that's one of those things like, that's the business we're in. So you have to have just a crap load of feeders and everything else. But whatever you got room for and that you can make work there, that should make them a 3-framer. Oh, I see what he's getting at.
Let me see. Can you see that picture there?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Thanks, William. I forgot about that.
On the bottom of that's a 2-frame mating. That's a 2-frame mating nuke right there.
Yeah.
And you just nail it down to your hive stand.
I just screw them down. Yeah, I put one on each opposite corner, so there's just a screw in the front and a screw in the back, and I just screw them down.
No, that's just bloody wonderful.
Because we got wind too. I mean, I don't double stack 2 frames, but even just a 2-frame box sitting there, it would blow over. I mean, they're just too narrow. You know what I mean? At least I don't know how Barnyard Bees does it with all them just sitting out there.
And he's got the feeder box on top of it.
Mine would blow right the first thing.
I've got mine at least slammed up next to each other where it's like a nuke, facing different directions.
Yeah.
But so I don't know how he does it either, but he makes it look so easy. Oh, just drop a frame of eggs and bees in there and another frame with the starter strip, and in a month you'll have a queen sitting in there. Okay.
If you'll notice the 5-frame that I've got stacked up real tall there, I've actually got a ratchet strap on that. And I hate putting ratchet straps on and off, but when you got 5 boxes tall like that, at least with Oklahoma wind, you got to do something.
So we actually had that happen here. Speaking of Oklahoma and whatnot, we had a tornado go through one of those solar farms just east of me. Right. And they had 20 hives out there, and they didn't have anything on them. And all of them went down as Bolton's bees that just went, to crap. And so I was really wondering about like Oklahoma and Kansas, where you can, God will move stuff.
We had that hurricane come through here last year, and I just put 4 or 5 cinder blocks on top of all my hives, and I didn't have no problem.
Yeah. And I've actually switched over to heavier paving stones. In fact, I got to put a bunch of them back on there. Ugh.
Yeah, Jeff, that's what I got. I got mother load feeders, 1-gallon feeders, but I haven't put any in my nuke boxes. And part of the reason is because my nuke boxes are so close to my honey production colonies
Okay.
that I was just worried about them getting raided out.
Yeah, and that's funny you should mention that too, because I've got one or two hives that are weak because I had to requeen them, and I'm putting that. I think I'm putting the Blywood Smart Bee Guard thing on the front of all those things. But last year I did 4 splits, and I had the nukes lined up on one of my decks, and the other hive just immediately just started robbing the crap out of them.
Right.
And so yeah, you got to watch. I mean, even if it's not a dearth. If they can find it and get away with it, they'll run with it.
Yeah,
And it's just so easy to make one of those entrance things. Somebody just put in something about using clamps or whatever on the side of the boxes. I actually looked at doing that, but because I'm in Minnesota, this when the fall comes up, I'm actually pushing all my boxes direct together so the walls touch. So I didn't want to get around with that. But man, no, that just doesn't sound good. But Lee,
guys,
thanks for bringing that up about the blocks on top. I'm sorry, William.
Oh no, you're good. I gotta run. I gotta go get ready for my hockey game. So
Oh,
nice talking to you guys.
All right,
yeah,
man. Good luck.
enjoy
I
it.
got starts in 30 minutes, so that's about how long it takes me to get my contacts in and get all my pads and everything on. So
Yeah, you best run there. So, well, God bless, man. Be out on the ice. A little jealous here, brother. So,
all righty,
have a great time.
Nice talking to you guys.
Nice
Later.
talking to you. Bye-bye.
Now you was talking about dearth and everything. I know we going into one now. I looked at my tallow trees today. All the flowers are gone, and the little seed pods is starting to form on them. So it's almost time to pull honey and do whatever I got to do and do my OA treatments.
Yeah.
Now, do you get much fall flow, Lee?
Last year it was pretty much non-existent. I had one goldenrod in my yard, and I seen 2 in the neighbor's yard, and that's all that I seen here. Now already this year we're starting to get little stubs growing up out of the ground for goldenrod everywhere.
So see, that's my thing.
people have
If I pull all these honey boxes off, then I got a time putting them back on, right, for the goldenrod.
Yeah.
Or just do I leave them on and let them just
Leave them on. Leave them on. And as a matter of fact, something you might want to think about is if you have a bunch of undrawn honey supers, undrawn frames. I have some that we don't have a good flow going here at all. It's not. It should be starting right now, but good. But I just take the if I've got some undrawn, 10 frames, honey super mediums, I drop them on the top just to give the bees more space too, in the heat. Just my 2 cents.
You know what? I've done that, and I've got these damn Trump towers of boxes out there, and they still beard. I even staggered them. I staggered some of the boxes today and left a crack so they could ventilate out like more of the way up, and they're still just bearding like crazy. I have tons of bamboo. Does bamboo produce nectar?
I think are you referring to the Japanese knotwood?
Yeah, he says knotweed, and then he put bamboo in parentheses. I've got bamboo like crazy outside.
Don't put bamboo
everywhere and a backlatch. Oh, I see what you're going, DC. Okay, thank you. Very interesting.
Actually, Mr. Paul, I like the goldenrod honey. It stinks, but it tastes good.
Yeah, I'm starting to smell that stinky feet smell.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot like buckwheat and so on. Phil, do you have anybody growing buckwheat anywhere near you? Yeah. I just no. Ragweed and buckwheat. You get that dark. Oh dear Lord, I love that stuff.
I got a lot of ragweed in my backyard. I seen a couple of stalks starting to come up, and I just quit cutting grass in that whole area, let it grow.
Oh, good for you.
All right, Daisy, you need to come in. Steve, come in to chat because I want to talk to you about that.
Now, as far as like pulling supers, I'm going to pull anything that's capped. If they got a little bit that's pretty much full but not capped, depending on what the moisture content is, I may pull it, dehydrate it down myself. But I'm going to put new supers on, let them draw that out with 1:1 sugar water. and let them go over the summer dearth with that. Now, once the fall flow gets ready, I'm going to pull those sugar water frames out and put my other frames that I extracted back in and let them fill up with goldenrod.
So knotweed,
yeah.
knotweed.
It's more work, but after the goldenrod's done, then I'll pull my goldenrod honey off and put those sugar water frames back on.
There you
Let
go.
them winter that.
So knotweed is a member of the buckwheat family.
Oh, is it really?
That's what the Googler says.
Huh.
Okay.
So
You doubt me?
no, I don't doubt you. I've got a crap ton of bamboo outside. So I want to know if you're telling me that bamboo is good for bees. I'm wanting to hear what you got to say.
It is great for bees.
Really?
Yes.
Is it
Not over here, it's not.
I almost had an accident because of that. I was driving alongside the road and I saw the bamboo and I want to see what was on it. There was yellow jackets, there were flies, there might bees, and I almost hit the guardrail because I forgot where I was going.
So is it a specific variety of bamboo, or is it any bamboo?
Japanese knotweed, and the other name is bamboo because if you break the stalk, it looks like a bamboo. It's hollow inside, and it has white flowers.
Oh,
Okay. So that's different. I've got like canes, the bamboo canes.
No, not the canes.
Damn.
Come on, Lee, pick up the picture.
We have bamboo here.
I hadn't pulled it yet. I had another picture I was about to pull up. You was talking about the yellow jackets and bees.
It attracts wasps like crazy.
Let me
So-
throw that over here real quick. I
So
just thought it was funny.
Japanese knotweed is scientific name is Falopia japonica. Japanese knotweed or fleece flower, Mexican bamboo. How can it be Japanese knotweed and Mexican asshole with wings? Yep.
See, I thought that when Charlie was describing that, the Japanese knotweed, he got all excited about it. And I thought he was talking about what turns out to be an ivy that I have here that grows all over the place right next to my bog. It just goes heavy in there. And it does have these little flowers on them. And I've never gone down there to look at them because I usually just sit on the breakfast deck and drink coffee and watch the deer eat these things. So Japanese knotweed makes the best honey, hands down. See, you know something? There's so many different varieties of honey out there. Andar was talking about loving buckwheat too, and I grew up with it. Lee loves it. The ragweed, but I just there's just so many wonderful varieties out there. Bob Binney is just hands down into sourwood. And I've never had Tupelo. Man, I swear to goodness, there's more varieties than there are wine. Oh, wait a sec. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking at.
Knotweed.
Yeah, that's not what I'm looking at. It's an ivy. Okay. Thanks, Lee. Our librarian comes through once again.
But what's the flower look like?
A little white flowers. There they are.
It kind of reminds me of privet looking at it right there. Just a little small flowers.
Tell you about.
Because I'm going to be walking through the woods tomorrow looking for that now.
Well, in New York, that's just starting to come up now. They're not flowering yet.
Really?
Not until August, September.
Wow. And then there's Ord Blossom and Kudzu. Yeah. Oh, come on, guys. Just keep bringing them.
Well, I can't. When does kudzu bloom here? I need to find out. NASA.gov.
And
the problem with knotweed is an invasive plant, and my town cuts it down on me all the time by the roads.
Yeah, I can see that.
So this is saying that goldenrod is supposed to start here in July. So next, like a couple weeks from now. So it's like I've got a treat for mites, but I've got a flow coming, a major flow of goldenrod. So it's like, but it doesn't say like, is it the end? It says July through November.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm trying to see if it has kudzu on here. It doesn't even have kudzu listed on the list, and I know for a fact we've got a ton of kudzu.
Well, if you don't treat for mites, you won't have any bees, so you'll have no honey then anyhow.
Yep, I agree. So
Pimento.
While you looking that up, I'm gonna drop a little shameless plug in here on myself.
Lee's got his
There you
merch
go.
store up.
You looking for any merchandise? I got some that I designed.
Lee, would you bring the mug up there in the top left in the bottom center?
Bottom center?
Either one.
Is that a heat sensitive mug?
No.
If you can handle the heat, stay out of the hive. Oh, I love it.
I done that one, and then I actually took this picture of my smoker last night and clipped it.
That's I love both of those. I really do.
And then also got the women's and the men's shirt to match them.
Yeah.
Hats and raincoats.
Oh, that's just excellent.
Yeah, I don't even see kudzu.
Drop that link in the comments.
This must be a out of date list here. I don't know how often they update this list, but there's no way you can have South Carolina and not have kudzu listed on the list of stuff.
So
it's like whenever I looked at that list, a lot of it is showing for Louisiana is some of the stuff that grows in northern Louisiana, but not southern. I mean, some of the stuff we have here, but not all of it.
yeah, and I was gonna bring up. Ander was asking about how do I tell when there's a flow going on. You know,
put out some feed. If they don't take the feed, there's a flow.
Yeah, but the other thing I was going to bring up is ask the other experienced beekeepers in your area. I'm going to be calling Troy in the morning and asking what he's seen in all of his yards up here.
Kudzu blooms July through November here.
Be good. That might
afraid to ask the other folk,
That might supplement a little bit of your heavy dirt then. Instead of being out, you'll have a little something come.
Well, it says kudzu can grow a foot a day in the summertime.
Whoa.
So, all right, this is the link to the NASA site.
You got it, or you want me to drop it? I programmed.
Oh, I got it right there. That's the South Carolina page, but if you go to the, you can know how to back up and all that. You can get to the stuff there.
Hey, DC, I don't know if you know Champion brand, like the Champion backpacks, Champion sweaters, all that. That's what the raincoat is. It's Champion.
What? I thought he was joking about a raincoat.
It was on my store.
Really? Very nice.
But the
kudzu have feet.
Oh, they grow fast.
Oh, that's a raincoat. Oh, cool. I like that.
I used to wear one of those when I was on the back of a truck because they're real quick to just pop on, and when you get the truck, pop back off again, and good to go.
There you go.
And on there, the raincoats and the shirts, they do have different colors you could select from too.
So, Steve, what's up with you and your bees here right now? What are you doing?
I sold a bunch of nukes, and I'm getting ready to harvest in a few weeks. It's not a good year, but I'll do all right.
Good. Good.
It wasn't a very good year for me either so far, but
I mean, it's strange. I'll have one super with 10 supers on. I have another one with none right next to each other.
Well, that's exactly how mine are.
It's crazy. I never saw that. Usually they all get a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you got to look too, Bob. You're saying it ain't a good year for you. It might not be the best year for honey, but look how many hives you've done multiplied over this year.
Yeah, and that's that's the other reason.
I got a story.
All right.
Yesterday, one of my bee friends called me up. He says, "Listen, I put on my Facebook page that I'm selling honey out in front of my house, and I got 800 replies for my post. I don't have enough honey. Can I get some honey from you?" So he came over and put a couple of 5-gallon things of honey from last year I gave him.
Great.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works on my Facebook page. But I haven't sold 800. I didn't have 800 people.
He got his Facebook page and he put it like to other clubs and stuff like that. And he's getting all kinds of responses. And the problem is, I put his feed into my Facebook, and they're texting me, "Where is he? I want to go." And this and that. But it was funny. I had to lend him honey.
Yeah,
Good thing,
wonderful.
he's a maple producer, so I'm going to switch to honey to maple for next year. He owes me maple syrup.
Well, that works.
Because I got a lot of honey. I don't need any honey.
Right.
Well,
Now,
see, I think actually that's how Michael Palmer got into. He was running maple lines before he was running bees, I think. So, no, by all means, Steve, go for it.
Yeah,
Once I tried true maple syrup, I won't buy the mess in the stores no more.
Well,
I order it online out of Vermont.
It's a lot of work to get maple syrup.
Yeah.
You need about 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of maple
That's
syrup.
what I was about to say, 40 to 1.
And it takes you hours to cook it down.
Yep.
Yeah.
When I was in Michigan, we went to like the Maple Festival they have in Michigan, and we would always buy our syrup there. And it's not cheap. Real syrup isn't cheap, but it's real syrup, right? It's not high fructose.
I think I paid $17, $18 for, a decent sized little jar.
I got another story. I put my price list on my Facebook thing. I'm also associated with Tidewater in Virginia because I have beehives in Virginia. My daughter takes care of for me. And I get this guy says to me, "Why are you trying to undercut us with prices?" I said, I didn't mean to do anything. I had no idea what your prices are. I was charging $10 a pound. They charge in Virginia $24 a pound.
$24 a pound for honey?
Pound for honey. Because my daughter, she goes to these festivals and she prices it.
Right.
And she says 24, 26, 22. That's why the guy was mad because I'm showing $10 a pound.
If I took a jar this size and sold for $24, I'd feel like I was highway robbery.
I can do this for $10 a pound if I'm ripping people off.
Yeah, I hear you, Steve. That's the most I've ever heard. Actually, I don't know about you guys.
Well, some people have come and said, "Oh, that's pretty cheap," and they don't have a problem with it. And other people, I give them a cheaper option, right? They can buy a $5 jar if here's a $5 jar, But
yeah, by all means, that's the other thing you gotta.
But here's the thing.
Right?
Here's the other problem, right? I'm not Steve right now. I don't have extra honey. I don't have more honey than I can sell. Once that happens, then it's like, do I need to lower my price to get it going? That's when.
No.
So just stack it up. Keep stacking it up.
Yeah.
I'm about to have to go up on mine. I've been selling mine at $9 a pound, but I'm about to have to go in with all the shipping charges.
The jars are ridiculous. The jars went up as crazy.
Yep.
I spent about almost $1,000 a year on jars.
My jars that I normally buy, the glass ones, they've went up $3 a case over probably the last 6 months. They went from $8.95 to $11.95.
But did you notice last year it was hard to get plastic? Because I called
plastic and jars.
I didn't really start doing the plastic until this year. Well, I did have some last year.
They were putting sanitizers into the plastics.
That's
why plastic was hard to get.
Yeah. So I think we're doing $14 to $15 a pound here, Morgan and Tex. And Bob, you just keep the different jars and different price points. But so many people are starting to realize that hey, good raw honey is actually has a lot of health benefits to it. And
Well,
got a lot of people.
Tastes great.
Yeah,
Tastes great.
Well, I took this is funny because I went over by a friend's house today and I gave them a jar of honey. My friends and family don't pay for honey. That's the benefit of having somebody that's a beekeeper, right? They get I'm not charging them, right? So I gave him I said, do you like honey? I'm not a big honey person. I said, well, taste this honey. And I let him taste some. He's like, that doesn't taste like the honey in the store. Exactly. That's the whole point.
See the looks on their face when
He
they
said,
get that.
that doesn't taste like pure sugar, like the honey in the store does. I said, no, you can actually get that floral aroma and the taste of it, you know. And he was, he's like, heck yeah, dude, I'll buy honey from you now, you know, just to give him a taste.
Yeah, and here's something for you. Andrew just made a joke here about Putin inflation. That's actually going to be a real thing in Europe now, because Ukraine is such a massive honey producer. It's like 1 out of every 106 Ukrainians are beekeepers. I'm not certain how that works out, but yeah. And think about, you know, they've taken all the wheat, and you know, doggone well, the guys aren't going to be working on the beehives, and the vast majority of that Ukrainian honey goes to the European market. So they are going to be seeing literally a Putin inflation in honey there. So that's just a side note there. Sales are still strong. I sell in 8 stores. Silver, yeah, no, it's not gonna. Yeah, you're spot on, brother.
All right, so I'm missing something here. Hold on. Rick Moore said something here. How many sticks of honey would you have if all you had? And then that's all we got. So I can't answer it because the question didn't come through all the way.
We
Yeah,
figured it up one night as far as how many honey sticks you can make out of 1 pint or a 1 pound jar. And
oh yeah. Somebody
I
ran the
forget
math
how
on
many it
that.
was. It was a lot.
Yeah,
I once weighed it. I forgot what it was, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
A half pint jar is 12 ounces.
That'd be 8 ounces.
8 ounces. It's no, because a pint is a pound and a half.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
So,
I thought you were talking about just how much would it normally hold, not honey weight.
So
Yeah, half pint should be about 12 ounces of honey.
So how much honey fits in a honey stick?
I don't know.
Remember?
Yeah,
I guess it depends on what size straws you buy too.
yeah, exactly.
Sorry,
Okay.
wrong button.
Well, we'll get that.
Bring
Oh,
Rick
hey,
back.
Rick, you're back there. Yeah, Andrew, I actually correspond with a Ukrainian entomologist in Kiev, and in DC. What's that story? Ukrainian beekeepers armed guarding their hives. I believe it. Knotweed is everywhere. Jeff Thomas, where are you, by the way?
Before Mike takes another breath, I'm gonna sign out, guys.
Too
Mike,
much. Hey, hang on a second. I gotta blame this. Sorry,
Mike,
guys. I should have had the espresso before I came on. I'm so sorry.
it's only the Bob and Lee show until Mike comes on. Then it's the Mike show.
I'm so sorry. I do that.
I'll talk to you soon, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. Have a good
Take
one.
care, brother.
All the best.
Yeah. So how much? I mean,
According to this, 1 honey straw is about 1 teaspoon, or saying, 1 tablespoon of honey is equivalent to 0.0468 pounds.
0.0468.
Yeah, that don't sound right.
Yeah, that's like
That's Google.
that's
So how-
numbers off.
So
I was
if that's
wondering, Bob. I was wondering how many honey sticks would you have if you took all the honey out of the bottles that you have and put them in sticks? It'd probably be enough to pay for that machine.
Yep, and then everybody that drove up, I'd have to say, all I have is a stick for you.
Well, no, you say here's a quart. Quart comes in 100 sticks.
Okay. Straw that is 6.5 inches long will hold 0.2 ounces of honey.
0.2. So that means there's 5 to wait.
Yeah, roughly 5 to an ounce.
Yeah, 5 to an ounce times
That's $5
16
an ounce.
ounces.
No. 16.
If there's 5 to an ounce, it's $5 an ounce you get.
So, but the market for straws, I don't know. If I had a store that I could sell the straws in legally, here, if you sell in South Carolina, if I sell to somebody who resells it, I have to be inspected. My packaging facility and all has to be inspected. Some states don't have that problem. I don't think Lee has that issue in his state.
Up to 20,000.
We don't have a limit. If you sell to somebody who resells, you got to get inspected.
That's why I give mine away.
I think I had that question on the algebra test. You give your honey away?
Yeah.
You have to be inspected there if you produce any honey?
Nope.
So I can sell direct to the consumer.
I don't sell anything. I just give it to family and friends. I give it to my doctors, whoever wants it. I don't have a bunch of hives. I've got like 3 flow hives and a couple of regular hives.
That's great.
You like the flow hives?
Yeah, but it takes a long time for them to fill them up. To fill them up with honey. Matter of fact, I've never seen it where they've filled up the whole thing, any season. I've never seen that.
Well,
I'll probably take them off this fall.
But if you had 3 strong colonies, I mean, that could be up to, like, depending on where you're at and everything, 300 pounds of honey.
Could be, yes.
That's it. I just don't have strong colonies yet because they're all new.
I got you.
I wonder if you could sell those honey sticks just out of your truck if you just wrap them in bundles of 10 or 20.
No, one at a time sells better.
Quarter here. I mean, what are you selling them for? The sticks. What do you sell them for? $1? $1 a stick?
Well, I got a big straw. I sell them for $1. But what I usually do is
that's what she said, Steve. You got a big straw.
But if I see a family go by with a little kid, I'll give the kid the straw and they'll buy the honey.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
because it costs me nothing, that straw.
Yep.
Right. Well, do you have the machine to fill the straws? Or you said you use a syringe?
Well, I got a big syringe.
So you food seal one side.
No. You gotta leave it open, otherwise it won't go through. You put it through, and just about a half inch before the end, you stop. Then you seal that side. Then you seal the other side.
Okay.
How many can you do on one thing? Like 10, 20 of them at a time?
Well, I do one at a time. I have a food seal,
Right, like the food saver thing.
I will fill about 8 of them and have them sit in a jar, and then I'll seal them one at a time.
Yep. Y'all are going to have me buying another damn food sealer and straws.
I got a big one in my storage.
I think I saw somebody online do it like they do like 10 or 20 of them at a time like that, and they seal,
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's it. Yeah. So the biggest question I'm getting right now, what's the difference between fall honey and spring honey? Because now I have dark honey and light honey, right?
There's a syringe.
60 ml syringe.
There you go.
So you just draw the honey up in the syringe and
that's all you do. Put the straw in there. Let's see if I get up there. Put the straw in there and just push. And it's amazing how many straws you can do with a pound.
What kind of straws do you use, Mr. Steve?
I bought them on Amazon. They're actually pretty big. They're down in the basement. I will show you. Next time I come on, I'll show you what they look like.
But you could go to Sam's Club and buy a box of straws.
Well, I bought a lot because I thought they were going to outlaw this plastic straws. I bought tons of them. I got a lot of them.
Bob, just use regular straws from McDonald's. Just go steal free straws from McDonald's.
No, well, you want clear straws. Make sure they're clear straws so you can see the honey.
Right, that's true. Man, you guys got me. Watch next week. No, next week.
It's only $400. 2 payments, you could have that done.
I don't do payments. I pay cash and I'm done.
Yeah, see, I don't like having a monthly bill.
That's
go buy
one
one.
thing I can say about my bee habit and bee business is it's paid for. Everything I've got out there is paid off and paid for, and I don't.
500 for $10.
Okay.
Can't beat that, right?
Well,
If there was
that's
some way you could put your name on it, that way you would get your name out there so that they would be more likely to buy honey from you if they ever seen it out somewhere. Or order it from you.
Well, if they see it on the floor with your name on, they might get a little pissed that you litter in the county side.
that's 2 cents for a straw. 2 cents for a straw, and if you, I mean, out of a pound, how many do you think you can get out of a pound? Steve,
Excuse me?
how many do you think you can get out of a pound of honey? How many straws?
Oh, a lot. I don't, a lot. I actually once weighed a straw, filled it up, and I just don't remember anymore. I'm kind of old and senile, but
For
You get
some
a lot.
reason, I want to say when we figured it one night, it was like 300 or something like that. We figured.
that's a little high. That's a little high.
I could be wrong there.
That's a little high.
So even if you could get 150, let's say you get, or 100, that's $100 for a pound of honey.
I don't think you get that much. I think it's more like $30 a pound.
That's 3 times.
If you're getting $100, dude, you're ripping somebody off.
Of course, you got to sell. I mean, you got to sell them all for that to happen. But
I always run out.
do you ever have any problems with them crystallizing in the straw?
They're sold too quick.
Okay.
Wow. Where do you sell them at?
Well, I used to sell them down the road over here before the cops threw me off. What happened was there was a corn man who was there for 35 years selling corn from July to November. So I asked him, do you mind if I sell honey here? I said, there's no problem. So for a few years, I was selling honey there. And in 35 years, it was 2 accidents, 1 year apart. And so they closed us down. Big court case and everything.
3 for $1 in Louisiana. 3 straws for $1.
You got to realize they might be the little straws. You got to compare the straws. Mine are pretty tall, like the one that Lee was showing.
Yeah, the ones I pulled up was 7 3/4 inch.
You could buy straws. They're cheap online with the honey in it already. First of all, it's fake honey, and it's small straws.
Right.
When I see my straws, they're this big. It's pretty thick, and believe it or not, it's only a fraction of an ounce in the stupid straw, but it looks like a lot. And the kids love it. And the old grandmothers love it. I'm going to bring it to my grandkids. Can I have 10 of them? And you sell them quick. And then the lady goes, oh, I can use that when I have my tea at work, and I have 15 of them.
Well, now how much do you charge in New York for a straw?
$1.
$1.
But I usually give most of them away to kids and stuff like that. But I do sell them $1.
Well, yeah, I mean, if people are buying them for $1 and offsets,
$50 in honey, I throw them a couple of straws. Because it's not costing me any money.
right?
No. And Bob, you just got me thinking here, that test batch that I was making about seeing how hot I could get the ghost pepper honey.
You can make straws of each one of the flavors too.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm just going to make
when I go to Blythewood Bee Company, they got this wooden stand that's got a bunch of different boxes with different flavors of honey in it.
Oh, there you go. I love it.
So how long do you have to let those peppers stay in there to heat it up?
This is my first year. I don't know. I'm afraid to open it up and try it.
How long have they been in there, Steve?
3 months at least.
Open one up and sample it. Let us know right now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
All right.
I know that honey that Spanky sent us from Filament Corner.
Oh my Lord, son.
It has a dang good flavor to it, but it will burn you.
Yeah, it'll put a licking on the tongue for sure.
Tastes like honey.
Tastes like honey.
Man, is that good honey.
Damn, son. 1 pinky.
That is good. That's my favorite. I think next time I should break it up and put it in there or something.
This has ghost pepper in it.
Was it the ghost pepper or the Carolina Reaper he was doing?
This has ghost pepper, and
Ghost
I
pepper.
can distinctly tell. I used to eat. There used to be a company called Dave's Insanity, made super hot sauce you could buy at the grocery store. That tastes just like it.
I'll be back in 1 second.
Get the water. Go get the water.
I think it might have been a little warm.
My buddy.
Oh, Sharon, good point. I sold to wedding organizers or whatever. Honey straws are popular for wedding. Yeah.
Are they really?
So we keep talking about, all the different ways we should be making money off our bees, selling propolis, selling wax, selling honey. And it really looks like we should all go. Yeah. Hey, Morgan, I just ran into somebody who did that. They were dehydrating the peppers before they put them in the honey.
But he said he grinds it too.
Yeah.
That way you don't add any extra moisture to it.
Oh, this was dry. This was dehydrated.
Okay.
Yeah. So he said he grinds it too beforehand, which not chemically, but scientifically, you're giving more surface area for the honey to come in contact with.
Yeah.
And you're probably breaking up the oils that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about weddings or whatever made me think of church. The last time I was at the farmer's market, I had an older lady come down there. She had bought a couple bottles of honey from me at one time. But she took them home, and she has like a little tea party at her church with some of the ladies. Well, she took little small bottles and poured my honey into it and put a little ribbon on it, and then give each lady at the church one.
Wonderful.
Well, the pastor and everything liked it so much they wanted to get back with me and start buying honey from me to put in their jars, but wants to see if I can do some small labels for them. They'll supply the jars, they'll fill them and everything. Just wants my honey and the label to put on it and give it to all the new members of their church when somebody comes in.
Well, if you think about it, okay, so in our market, $10 a pound is pretty acceptable. But if I sold it to the school at $10 a pound and they used it as a fundraiser with a custom label on it, they could sell it at a fundraiser at $15 a pound because people would buy it because it's a fundraiser.
Mm-hmm.
And they're making $5 a jar for a fundraiser.
Good.
I have a collection of volunteer fire department shirts because I donate my honey to them when they have fundraisers. And exactly what they do. They charge $15, $16, and I give it to them for free. So they're making a profit. So I get a T-shirt all the time. I got so many T-shirts. It's great.
Mm.
And then if I get a fire in my house, I'll be the first one here.
There you go.
I hope.
Hey, Sharon, my ghost pepper honey is a ratio of 1 part ghost pepper to 2 parts habaneros. So we get that flavor thing there. Just throwing that up.
I got 2 down. I got to sample 2 more, and my tongue's already on fire.
2 of them has like a smoky flavor to them.
Mm-hmm. I'm not even reading the labels. It's just Russian roulette.
I just found the one with the red lid was the hottest.
Mm.
If you can do that with peppers, you should be able to do it with all kinds of fruits.
Rick, we've got a guy that's northwest of in Minnesota here out in the country, and the number one honey that he sells is creamed blueberry honey.
Oh yeah.
He says he just sells that stuff like crazy.
Besides my wildflower, I add this to some of it. See that?
Raspberry. Oh, it's like the coffee flavoring.
Yeah, it's a big seller.
No kidding.
I can't keep it in stock.
So is that like a flavored syrup?
It's a natural flavor. You just put maybe a half a teaspoon per pound or a quarter teaspoon per pound. I mix it in 13-gallon things.
Yeah.
And the people love it. They're constantly calling me for it.
Wonderful.
I got people coming from New York City, 40 miles up to get this honey.
Wow. That's the raspberry there.
The raspberry is the big one. I do the raspberry, strawberry, and blueberry. The raspberry is the big one.
Very wonderful.
See, I need more honey to be able to do that.
My label where it says pure, I put a label that says raspberry on it. I says wildflower raspberry because in New York State I can't call it pure raw
No.
honey
Yeah.
because I'm adding something to it, even though it's very small and this is supposed to be all natural.
That's wonderful.
I mean, and I charge the same price. Everybody says I'm crazy. I just charge a little more because a little
Yeah.
labor intense.
Yeah, but how
Yeah.
much labor? I mean, you put it in there and you mix it in, right? I mean, it's
Well, compared to I got a big bottle and just go boom, 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 boom.
right.
Sharon,
I'll tell you what. If you guys email your address, I will send you some of my raspberry honey.
Oh.
I'm down.
Daisy's honey one. I'll send it to you.
I might do that.
Free of charge.
What's your
I love it.
What's your email?
100
Daisy's honey. Daisy's honey at AOL.com.
Compose.
That's the one we had, the AOL.com. We were talking about the other night. We couldn't remember who it was.
Oh. So Sharon, I only have my ghost pepper cooking for cooking. For basically, it's the way I do it. You get like a hard cinnamon candy burn in your mouth. It's not the stuff that'll kill you for some reason. Yeah. So, but it gives a fruity flavor to it, and that's why, Steve, when you're talking about doing the raspberry, where are you getting that raspberry flavoring from?
That's a coffee flavoring. Like a coffee shop uses those amarettos and stuff like that.
So, I see what you're talking about.
So you could take grenadine and put it in your honey. It tastes like cherry honey.
Mm.
Man, that sounds absolutely wonderful. That's
Give me your address and I'll mail it to you.
You know, you just got 40 requests, probably.
Yeah.
I might have to do that. What do y'all know about making creamed honey? It's temperature control and stirring.
All right, I just sent you an email, Steve.
Yeah.
I actually put some in one of my closets last year that was an outside wall. I don't know how good you can see, but it kind of creamed itself.
Yeah. So you can take that and put it in other containers of honey, and the crystals will move.
Yeah.
I just heard you got mail from AOL.
A ratio of, usually a ratio of 1 to 10. 1 pound of honey or 1 part honey to 1 part creamed honey to 10 parts liquid honey.
This is just regular crystallized honey, but it's fine crystals. It's not real grainy.
And
it's hard.
To answer their question here, there's 2 ways of making creamed honey. One is just to let it crystallize, and the other one is where you keep it, I think it's like at 53 degrees, and you have a constant stir on it, and then the crystals are smaller. It actually turns into more of a cream rather than crystallized honey. So that's all I know, and I've never done it.
Well, you could take you could take crystallized honey and put it in a mortar and pestle, and sit there and just work it down until the crystals get real fine, and then add that to 10 parts liquid honey of whatever part the crystallized you have. Put that in a refrigerator or a cooler down to 53 degrees, and it'll cause it to crystallize faster and be evenly uniform.
And the crystals stay nice and small?
Yeah.
Okay, so Troy actually went out and got a big wine cooler, and that's what he's doing. And he runs the temperature at 53 degrees. For whatever, that's all I know. But as far
In
as
that case, it'd be easier to get some creamed honey from someone else.
Yeah.
And do like a cropping to start your batch.
Yeah, you can use a purchased creamed honey for a starter seed.
Sharon
I just preferred to start my own.
Sharon said she creamed crystallized honey with a mortar and pestle.
Yeah, that's what I did.
my
new batch that I made.
What I did, I bought from Amazon cream honey. I've been using that for 7 years. The same cream honey. Just put 10% of that, 90% of mine, and it's not whipped honey. It's cream honey.
There you go.
Have to be whipping it.
Yeah.
There's a difference between like cream honey and whipped honey. Whipped honey is like the milky, mushy stuff.
Okay.
Creamed honey, you have to milk the bees on a very short stool. So Jeff, what if? I mean, I imagine if they're going to cap. Excuse me, I got ice in my mouth. They're going to cap the flow high frame, and then you would assume it's done. The bees know it's done with the moisture content, and then when you break the flow hive open, you can always use a refractometer to check the moisture content after the fact.
There you go. Yeah. Wow.
All right, Morgan. We'll talk to you later, buddy.
Hang in there. We'll keep you and your family in our prayers there, Beehive.
Lee, what you got? About another 15 minutes in you?
16.
16. All right. So
I got a whole extra minute.
All right.
I got about 14.
And you got 14? And then I'm going to go outside and check to see if my swarm is still in my box or if it's run off on me again. So I know you guys didn't catch it, but I was out there filming live. And the swarm was on the box, right? And I'm grabbing the bees underneath with my hand and putting them up and doing all that fancy schmancy stuff. And I stopped the live on YouTube and went to going live on my phone on Facebook and was doing it. And I'm sitting there and the bees just decided we don't want to be here anymore. And they just took off. Really quick, emptied the box, emptied everything. They were in the air.
So was this at night?
That was today, yeah. So I ran and grabbed my swarm commander and sprayed one spray on the front of the box. And they broke flight and came right back to the box. And I went and grabbed a frame with some cat brood from a nuke box over in my yard and dropped it in the top that hopefully the cat brood, and there was actually some queen cells on there that they stayed. So we'll see. No, that's not the swarm that was in the tree. I just happened to, I've got a habit. My bedroom is on that side of the house. So I'll look out the blinds, around the time that they should be doing orientation flights and stuff. And I saw this cluster on that box I had out there. So I'm like, oh, okay, somebody moved in. And I went and checked it out. And live on Facebook, these bees just took off the box and just are everywhere.
Bob, the next time that happens, get a metal bucket and a spoon and start. There you go.
I never saw the queen at all, but the bees were moving in the box and they were out there before I came in for this. So we'll see if they're in the box when I get there. I'm just going to spin the disc closed, lock them in.
Keep them in there for a couple of days.
And hopefully they don't cook inside the box and they got enough resources to sustain themselves for
they're warm and they'll have enough resources for a couple of days.
So it'll be interesting. Yeah, the other ones are still up on the branch. The cluster's still, I got an open air colony hanging on a branch about 30 feet up.
If you go to my Facebook, I got a beautiful one that was hanging there. What happened was I was on Yellowstone and my son said I got a swarm, so I called my friend with the bees and video it. In the video, he got the bees, but he wanted to get the last few, so he left the nuke up there on a ladder. Figured come back the next day, and they're all gone. What he couldn't tell was they went back up on the tree where all the branches didn't see it.
No.
I didn't see it until November. What a comb they made. What a nest they made. Except it was too high for me to save it. I would have just loved it and made a display of it.
Yeah.
If you go on my Facebook, I have a picture of it there.
I'm going to assume the one on the tree I know is from one of my colonies. I don't know which one. The one that landed in the box, I'm going to assume it was from one of my colonies, but I don't know because I didn't see him actually fly in. So it could be. I think if it is, it's one of the ones that are bearding heavily on the front, which is fine. If they split themselves and I catch them. If they don't split themselves and I don't catch, or if they split themselves and I don't catch them, that's a whole nother issue.
You
But,
still got the other swarm in the tree too?
Yeah,
Or
it's still up on the branch. Yeah. It's up on the branch. I thought that originally I was thinking that's the one it was.
What's Lee so holding his hand up for?
So, Sharon asked, "Is there any mead lovers in here?" I'm not a drinker, but I just started drinking mead a while back. I do like it.
Shotgun for a
I
swarm.
showed it last time.
Oh yeah. You were doing that. I forgot. How many jars of that do you have, or bottles?
Oh, I got tons of it.
That's what it was, because you had so many of them.
I had to stop making it. I just my basement. If I don't go down there, it stays at 55 degrees. I almost got 20 gallons of mead down there.
How many pounds of honey does it take for a gallon of mead?
3. There
3
you go.
pounds for 1 gallon?
Unless you want to make it a little sweeter, you can put a little bit more in it, but it's about 3. Lee's right.
I saw, I know the bee company here Blythewood Bee Company has a 1 gallon mead making kit. I thought about just getting it to make a batch just to try.
But you got to realize 1 gallon costs you $30 in honey.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Honey for $30.
Yeah,
that is true.
My
But that
buddy-
would be for me anyway.
My buddy made some and gave me a pint. I think I got about a half inch left in the bottom of that pint.
my
Popcorn Sutton made the best mead.
Do what?
Popcorn Sutton made the best mead down there in Kentucky
Moonshine mead?
or Tennessee.
I
Well,
actually
he'd do
Andrew,
corn and barley.
Okay,
His
mead
moonshine.
is more of a traditional Viking. It's a wine.
Blood
Yeah,
mead
it's
they
more
make.
of a wine.
I thought it started with the monks. Didn't the monks start it?
Well,
Or the bards?
the first fermented stuff that we know of, I think it was like some podunk place in China, and they were fermenting honey and some rice, and I can't remember what. But yeah, it's honey wine. But here's the funny thing on that: you're asking, is it moonshine? So I have a bunch of extra funny honey here that I harvested from deadouts, and I'm going to ferment that and run that through my still and make mead moonshine. I mean, why not? Thank you.
Why not? Yeah.
How's that?
Why not use honey instead of this sugar? They're always using sugar and some kind of.
Expensive. Sugar's cheap.
Yeah. It's strictly an economic thing there, Rick.
Makes
Friar
sense.
and mead. Yeah. No.
See, I can make mead. Still have a surplus about 500 pounds of honey from last year. Got rid of.
I want to try to make some myself. I just make it for my buddy.
I tell you what, Steve, if we were neighbors, I'd tell you to bring a couple of those bottles of mead over, and we'd run them through my still and see what would happen. I've never done it. It's just stupid that I haven't done it.
It probably set your ass on fire.
Hey,
Rick, it comes out at about 95 proof, so yeah.
Yeah. I'd kind of temper that with some water.
Oh, amen.
Hey, I hope your surgery goes well, Larimore. Appreciate you stopping by as
hang in there,
usual.
buddy.
You'll be in our thoughts.
Buddy. Good
tomorrow.
luck.
Someone else to keep in our prayers there.
Yep.
My gosh. And don't forget, Larimore, raw honey on the wound is one of the best antibiotics you'll ever get. You know, aids in the healing.
World War I. The soldiers. Honey. For the
Yep.
wound.
Yep.
All right, guys. So we've got 8 minutes before Lee's got to get off of here. So we're going to remind everybody right now, since it's the end, that you have to go in the comments after the stream on both mine and Lee's channels and leave a comment to be entered to win the Saracel Top Hive feeder. Also, I still haven't received an email from tonight's winner. So if you know them, please contact them. Otherwise, we'll be giving 2 away next week. So if they haven't claimed it by next show, we're going to give it away. You won it, Todd. Todd Hoarding won.
Rinky-dink coincidence. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm glad you got the figured out. But if you, from now on, if it hadn't been claimed by the time the next stream goes, we'll give 2 away that show. And so, see, you got to watch to win. Oh, you just lost. No, I'm just kidding.
Now, question on that: are we going to give it away to the people that commented the previous week or the new week?
Well, for the most part, everybody that enters is the same people every week, it appears.
Yep.
So it's not that big of a stretch, but we'll figure it out if it happens. But
I keep the list saved.
Todd, you don't have my email saved. All right.
Nah, I need to program that one in too.
All right. So Todd, this is my email. Everyone that's watching, this is my email.
Save it.
Right. So send me an email. Tell me if you want a 5, 8, or 10 framer, and I'll get the information over. Just know that the 10 framers were on back order. So we're waiting on that right now. So the list of no lifers doesn't change. I know. And I need 97 more subs before I hit 2,000 and we give away the solar wax milker.
According to Blythewood's website, the 10 frame is in stock now.
All right, so they have it. So what was
that's
what was
Blythewood's website beeping at me.
Okay.
But it says that they're in stock. Now it says the complete one with the frame and everything, that one's still out of stock, but just a feeder is in stock.
Yeah, so definitely make sure you send me the information of which one you want, and obviously your mailing address and phone number, just in case something goes crazy, and we'll make sure we get that taken care of. And I will check tomorrow when I call them about this week why last week's hadn't made it out yet. That's the first one that hadn't made it, like by the next stream.
Abby.
So Abby's not there anymore.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's why it hadn't made it out.
So, and hey, I'm not going to lie to you. I've been politicking hard to take her job, and Scott has not done it yet. So
he ain't bid on it yet, huh?
No, best movie it ever made. Of course, that's my opinion. I would love to have me as the manager of Blythewood B Company.
Get back from
Somebody made it to their first B meeting tonight.
Nice.
Wonderful.
How many people did they have there? Because if they didn't have more than 40, we still have the best B club on.
We were up to 55 tonight.
We hit the old speed limit tonight.
Well, that's fantastic.
And one day we'll get Brad back on here. Brad, don't be a wuss anymore. Come back in. What is that?
Mr. Steve's got a feedback.
Oh.
No, it ain't Mr. Steve.
I like that.
Hang on a second.
Yeah, it's Mr. Steve got a feedback.
There you go. I should have it now.
Very nice. Comb hanging from an open comb in a branch. There we go.
Can you get it? You got it?
Yeah, wow.
I see why. Hold on just a sec, Mr. Steve. I'm going to fix this. Some reason you were in the studio twice.
Well, I do have to knock that quote out. Hang on a second.
You were down there in the bottom, and it was back feeding 2 times.
So
Here I am. This
how
is
did
what I was talking about.
how did they build it wide on a narrow branch like that?
I have no idea. And I didn't see it to the fall because when the leaves were there, you couldn't see it.
Right.
Oh, right. Okay.
So when the leaves fell, I said, what the hell is this? And I would love to have cut the branch and made something out of it. It was a nice display to, if I had a table selling my honey, I could have had that show to everybody.
Yeah, that'd be cool. People would come by just to see the comb hanging from the branch.
Right.
And then you'd be like, hey, this is honey made in my bee yard.
You do that, Bob. You got one hanging out in your branches.
Yeah, but it's up there. I'm not going to do the Lee and put a 17-foot A-frame in the back of my truck and then take a 30-foot pole to get to it.
Oh, come on.
Take a 22 and play a treetop lumberjack.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even on a big branch, so it's I'll be curious to see what happens to it. I might get up there. Who knows? They're not going anywhere right now.
Well, you don't want to do anything that's going to cause you to fall.
I know, right?
How high is it again?
Probably 30 feet.
Well,
You
get
don't
a
want
weight,
to
a
take that.
string, throw it over, shake them down, see where they go.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, but because of the other branches and leaves and everything in the way, it's hard to like get something up over that branch.
Get a bow and arrow.
What you need to do is call an electrician that has a cherry picker.
Yeah, right.
Let me see. Just got here myself. Hard day today in Texas heat. I know that's right. Let's see.
Yeah, we about to say that one too, Brad.
That's the 30-foot hive.
We could do the
Pole
spear
saw.
gun.
Yep. Pole saw.
Spear gun it.
Oh no, that's spear gun. I thought it was a pole
Take
saw.
the whole tree down.
You take the whole tree out.
Take the whole tree down.
That's the I'll figure it out. I'll probably get some. Y'all don't forget. Oh, that's right.
Yep.
I haven't seen Earl comment on the chat tonight. I know he's lurking, but I haven't seen him tonight. And that would have, or Houston, or Johnny. See, they're getting big now and forgot all about us low folks over here. But hey, yeah, Thursday night, 8:00 Eastern, same time we do our show. They're gonna have the Hillbilly. What is it? Hillbilly Live.
Hillbilly Hives Live.
There you go. Hillbilly Hives Live. And guess who the first guests are going to be?
You guys?
These guys.
What night is that?
Thursday night.
It's going to be Thursday night on Hillbilly Beekeeping Channel this week.
Okay. I'll go over and check it out.
And then we got, Stream Team tomorrow night. And then we got Cayman whenever he decides he's going to just pop on. So
That's why I just come on Tuesday nights, and then you can have the popular people on later in the week.
Popular. No, I'm saying Cayman does his live stream just whenever Cayman wants to do a live stream. He just pops in like we do. But
generally, Cayman to do his on Saturdays, but not all the time.
But not all the time. Yeah, just sometimes. But anyway, guys, it has been fun. We appreciate all of you guys. Thanks for all of the wonderful information you share.
Don't forget
And
really good.
You already got my email sitting over there.
I got yours.
And Lee just dropped the gear stores for us. So we appreciate that because, for some reason, we don't get all the cash flow. People don't make it rain in our chats like they do on Cayman's and the stream teams. It don't rain over here like that. So
Definitely
I'm not even monetized, so I couldn't do it anyway.
Don't rain here at all.
Yep, I just got it, Todd. Thank you. I'll get that out to you.
Okay.
You must be going through a
you guys
drought.
have a grand night and maybe a good weekend if I don't catch you. And God bless. We got to remember Larry Moore and
Larry Moore for sure.
The bee guy that family's got. Happy anniversary, Sarah. Yeah, there you go.
Here you go. When y'all gonna have when are they gonna have a big guest? Man, you're no fun.
Okay.
Anyway, guys, we appreciate y'all. Thanks for
Take care.
coming over, and we'll see y'all next time.
Yeah,
Good night, guys.
You guys. Bye.
Bye. All right.
All right, I got one for you real quick to hook you up to now. Download StreamYards, or not StreamYards, Streamlabs.
We're still live.